Why, hello there, and welcome to Futon Talks, the podcast where we talk about games that one of us may have missed, and we talk about it. Maybe you missed it, and maybe nobody missed it, and we're just talking about it because we like to talk about things. I am your host, Christopher Midling, joined by my best friend and Demon Slayer, Josh Castro.
Hello. That was a very good introduction. I am a demon slayer. Soft spoken, but I do slay demons.
Umbasa, my friend.
Umbasa, my friend. I agree.
Let's just
Thanks for allowing me onto your show today.
Oh, of course.
For your 20th episode.
This is our 20th episode.
That's right. No, I'm joking.
Josh, how have you been?
Dude, I've been good. Actually, it's been a bad week. That was a lie. It's been a rough week.
It has been a rough week.
I am conditioned by society to just say everything's fine.
Yeah. You say everything's fine, then like a single tear rolls off your cheek.
Exactly.
Your teeth start grinding like mine.
My teeth spontaneously begin to turn
your
to
jaw
dust.
clenches.
Do you have worn down teeth, by the way? Now I'm curious. Do you have any teeth problems?
No, my
I know
teeth
you
are fine.
grind your teeth.
I do grind my teeth. And apparently I grind them very loudly in my sleep. So I need to get one of those mouth guards.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
You just reminded me of something. So, are you ever like asleep but not all the way asleep? And like
sleep paralysis?
Kind of, but not really. Because you're not super aware. But you like have vague memories. Or like you're clenching your jaw so tight. And you're like, why don't I just unclench my jaw?
Dude, that's just me on like a hourly basis. Like at work, I'll be like, I should stop doing this. And then I don't.
Man, you live my nightmares every day. You're so strong.
That's what I do at Rayleigh's. I live people's nightmares.
What about this, Chris? Have you ever been like mostly asleep, but your face is like in your pillow and your body's like you're dying because you can't breathe? Like
no,
move, but your body won't move.
No, I haven't had that. I've had many things where like my eyes will be closed and I'm like half asleep and the room will start spinning and I'll feel like my bed is just spinning and elevated in the air. Or sometimes I feel like, how do I even describe this? It's something I've had ever since I was like a young little tyke. Where in my head I see something very small, but it is so loud in my head.
You see something or you hear it?
I see something in my head, and then in my head it's incredibly loud. Like spontaneously loud and then super silent.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel it. Like, granted, I'm having like night terrors and you're seeing things and hearing them loudly.
Yeah.
Or just
it's scary, man.
Living nightmares. You're right. It's like working at Rayleigh's.
It's like living in a deep, deep fog because we're talking about Demon Souls.
What a beautiful transition.
Thank you.
I was waiting for it. For all those who didn't read what they clicked on, we are doing Demon Souls.
Or see the picture of the thumbnail that hopefully is Demon Souls.
I don't blame you. Chris Midling, Josh Castro, Futon Talks, that's enough to click, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Kelly McMorris's beautiful art.
Faces.
That's all you need. But Demon Souls.
What more is there in life?
What more is there in life than us? I don't know. Ask my wife. There's nothing.
Yep. Mine
Perhaps soft pretzels. She loves those.
Maybe Breath of the Wild. That's fine.
Dude, have you ever had a soft pretzel, by the way?
Oh, yeah, they're great.
I never had one until I met my wife.
Same.
What? How did our wives do so much for us?
My wife took me to Auntie Anne's and gave me a soft pretzel with pepperoni and cheese.
Dude, that sounds amazing. I like the jalapeno pepperoni cheese ones.
Jalapeno cheddars, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our wives are so similar yet so different. It's
But
so
then my
weird.
wife does something disgusting, like have a bologna sandwich.
Oh, stop it, Aspen. Stop it. What does she put on it though?
Seriously, bologna and mustard, and that's it on like Wonder Bread.
Dude, that's my wife, except it's ham instead of bologna.
It's disgusting. Ham I can dig, but not bologna.
Bologna?
Bologna.
Heck nah. You don't even pronounce the
bologna.
G. It's ridiculous. That's foreshadowing because we're gonna have an episode with our wives on talking about sandwiches.
That is correct. I can't wait for that.
That's gonna be so fun. We haven't done a futon fight in forever.
I know. All those poor people waiting for another futon fight.
I know. All of them.
All of them. All like maybe 3 of you. That's high.
Hey, that's a lot for me. That's as many people are. That's less than are going to be on the podcast, but still.
Yeah, that's right. That's all I need. But we're talking about Demon Souls, and this is kind of our first episode in hopefully a series where we try to play through and kind of soft review all of the Soulsborne games, going in the order that they're released. So Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Neo, so on and so forth.
And whatever, I mean, Elden Ring, I guess, will be out.
Elden Ring will be out in 10 years, and
yeah,
when George Martin finally finishes the story.
Yep, exactly.
But let's just quickly talk about our history with Demon Souls, or our history with Souls games. Like, what was the first Soulsborne that you played, and how did it make you feel?
How did it make me feel? I can tell you this much: it made me feel bloody, because it was the Bourne in Bloodborne. I mean, it was the Bourne in Soulsborne.
It was Jason Bourne.
It was Jason Bourne. It was Matt Damon, or Jeremy Renner for that one weird one. But no,
Ugh.
I know. Oh man, I really want to take a moment and talk about Jeremy Renner, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. That'll come up at a different time.
He's a bland man.
Do you think he's a handsome man? We're doing this. I don't care. We're coming back to our topic.
He's a handsome man. He kind of looks like a bird that like mixed with a turtle.
Thank you. That was the perfect description. Like Jeremy Renner, I know you're probably listening to this along with every other famous person, but no offense to you, your music's all right, but your face is weird. He's not that handsome. Anyways,
what is he in? He's in the Bourne Legacy, and he's in Marvel movies.
And he's Hawkeye. Yeah, that's pretty much all I know.
But like, compare him to someone like Ewan McGregor, who's been Obi-Wan, who's been, what's that movie that you like with him?
Moulin Rouge.
That one. He's been in Ghost Rider, and
Dr. Sleep.
He's just a beautiful man.
He is. He's a gorgeous man. He can sing.
But
he can
at the
wield
same
the
time,
lightsaber.
he's a very plain-looking man.
Yeah,
but he can look
much.
beautiful. He's not too much. Not too little.
But what is Jeremy Renner?
He's
too much and too little.
He is like a couple notches away from being Maneater.
Oh my gosh. This is my problem with Jeremy Renner. He's not like ugly. He's just like a normal dude, but people think he's hot. That's my problem.
Like, this is what he looks like. He looks like a guy who has been stuck in college for the last 10 years.
Oh, he kind of does. Or he looks like an adjunct professor.
Yeah. No, I could see him wearing like, a zip-up hoodie, like a blue zip-up hoodie with some baggy jeans like Levi's, wearing some Vans, and he's still trying to pass like his finals or something.
The real question is, could you see him in a trench coat wearing all leather with Jeeps kicking sand in the desert?
What does that mean?
You haven't seen that music video, have you?
No.
He like relaunched.
What?
So he has a music career.
Oh. What?
And he like relaunched his music career with his big music video sponsored by Jeep. And he's like in this trench coat, and he's like not bad. Like he's a pretty good singer, but it's just wild because he's just like in a trench coat in the desert with Jeeps everywhere.
I'm sorry. There's something that bugs me when actors try to be musicians.
What about Will
It
Smith?
never comes off. It never comes off the right way.
What about Childish Gambino?
But he started as a musician and then tried to be an actor, right? No.
Nah. He was in Community
Or was he a
for, I think,
writer?
4 or 5 seasons, and then he became a rapper. Like, I mean, he had a rap career, but it wasn't his like main thing, you know.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, there's some good ones. It's not like there's a lot of good ones, though.
No, I mean, I'm not saying
I couldn't think of
every
one that's not a
actor
rapper. So
yeah, I'm not saying that every actor who tries to have a music career is bad. It's just, I mean, think of Johnny Depp or Jared Leto.
they have music career. Oh, Jared Leto does, because he's the singer in what, 9 Inch Nails now?
No, 30
What
Seconds
is
to
it?
Mars.
Yeah,
30
close
Seconds
enough
to
for
Mars.
me.
There's a number in there. And Johnny Depp has like that awful band called Hollywood Vampires.
I had no idea that Johnny Depp did that. Does he sing, or what does he do?
I think he's a singer and a guitar player.
Oh, that's nice for him.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Johnny Depp. He's like a wet cat.
Yeah. He is like a wet cat.
Like, I like him. I just feel so
You feel bad for him, but you don't want to like touch him.
Oh my gosh.
You don't want to be around him.
Oh, poor Johnny.
What were we talking about?
We can come back. Don't worry. We'll have a whole episode on Jeremy Renner. We'll come back to him. But no, we were talking about my experience with Soulsborne. I don't know how. Oh, because Born Legacy. That's why.
Born, yes.
But yes, I began my relationship with the Soulsborne series with Bloodborne. And beyond this game, that's the only Soulsborne I've actually spent much time in. I think I played through the first boss of Dark Souls 2, the first boss of Dark Souls 3, and I've never touched Dark Souls 1.
Interesting.
So this is my second game.
Nice.
What about you though? I know you're a lot more experienced with this.
My so I'm not trying to throw my brother under the bus when I say this. I don't want it to come off that way because I'm not trying to, but my brother Austin loved Souls games and he got into them pretty early on. And it could have been from Dusty because Dusty had Demon Souls on the PS3.
Oh wow.
But I don't know his history with the series, but really when he tried getting me to play Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. I tried playing Bloodborne on my own, really. And they're just so dang hard. They're kicking my butt. And something that turned me off, this is me throwing my brother under the bus, is the gatekeeping of you're not a real gamer unless you play Dark Souls. Like, you haven't experienced a difficult game until you play Dark Souls, right?
Yeah, like
you see it all the
culture.
time.
Yeah,
the get good, exactly. And that really just turned me off from ever trying any of them. And I just wasn't patient enough. But then when Neo came out, for some reason, I'm like,
the hardest one.
I love samurais, and I just won't think of it as a Dark Souls game because it doesn't have Dark or Souls in the name. And
Easy
peasy. My Austin got Neo. He played a little bit. I watched him. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I started playing it, and man, I loved it. I really dug it. I got the platinum.
Wow.
It was the first Souls game I platinumed, and I was like, wow, this is such a great high. I'm going to go back and do this on Bloodborne.
I need more.
So I went to Bloodborne, got that very difficult platinum, and then I just kind of kept going, like Bloodborne, and then I forgot which one I did first. I think I did Dark Souls 1, got partway through 2. Did 3, like I finished 3 like 4 or 5 times, and then Sekiro, I got the platinum in Sekiro, loved it, and then lo and behold, the remaster for Demon Souls came out. But before that, I got my PlayStation 3 with the jar of mayo, which came with a copy of Demon Souls on PS3.
Whoa, it came with a copy of Demon Souls?
Yeah.
This dude could have sold this all for so much money.
I know.
People
And
pay top dollar
I
for that game.
played up to about the Phalanx, and
Oh
then
wow.
got the PS5. So I'm like, okay, I'll just jump into the remaster, and I got the platinum and the remake, and here we are. We're talking about it now.
Wow. Well, I've got a question for you then.
Yeah,
Dusty had Demon Souls, obviously,
Yes, he
like
did.
you said. This game came out in
he
2009.
still has it.
He still has it. That's
still-
smart. I hope he doesn't
I
sell
mean,
it for
he
a
has
jar of
everything
mayo,
he's ever bought. So
which is the way it should be.
yeah,
I feel we were foolish in a way. I feel like you
A
should
little
keep any
bit.
good game. But
maybe not the Connect.
no, not the Kinect. It's okay to put the Kinect down. But
Hit with a
if you had the
sledgehammer.
game, why do you think you missed it? You know, because neither of us have ever played Demon Souls before the remake. So this is
Why
actually
did-
a legitimate one of our podcasts, because usually we haven't actually missed it by that much.
Yeah. So why did I miss Demon Souls?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it just looked so bad
It is quite hideous.
compared to the things I was playing in 2009. You know,
There's some
Red
good
Dead,
games. Mm-hmm. True.
Dead Space 2, I think came, or no, Dead Space 1. I mean, you had, I think, one of the Arkham games, Resident Evil 5. I'm still playing Resident Evil 4 at the time. I'm still playing GameCube games at this time, I think.
Mhm.
And playing through the mid 360 games. So, and plus I have a PS3. So there you go.
You didn't
Bada
have a
bing,
jar
bada
of mayo
boom.
at the time. If you had, maybe you'd have one.
Right, I didn't have Duke's Mayo at the time. So yeah, I just naturally missed it because I didn't have the means to really play it. And if I was going to go to Amy and Dusty's house, we're playing multiplayer games. I'm not going over there to play Demon Souls.
Is it
I was
Demon's Souls, by the way?
Demons is Souls.
Because each of the demons, they are possessive of their souls. So Demon's
Yes.
Souls.
Yes, it's a terrible logo, by the way.
Really? I love the logo.
No, I love the logo. Just get rid of the stupid comma or whatever, apostrophe.
But then it's not possessive. Then it's just like demons and souls.
I know, but it just looks bad.
I understand.
It's just like you look at it and it's like catches you off guard. Like, wait, what?
I mean,
Demons of Souls?
they could just have it be Demon Souls.
Yeah,
Because then it's not about the demon's souls. It's just about souls which belong to demons. Which
yeah.
is
Demon
true.
Souls would be. It just rolls nicer off the tongue.
Demon's
instead of
Souls.
Demon's Souls.
I agree with you. Hear that, Miyazaki? It's far too late at this point.
I'm actually kind of I'm not surprised, but I am surprised they didn't fix that. But I understand that's how it's supposed to be because it is
Yeah.
possessive. So, but before we get into this, what are your general thoughts about this game? Did you like it?
Wow.
Did you hate it?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that you and I have a different perspective from a lot of the reviewers, right? Because I think that 99% of the reviewers who reviewed this game and gave it 9.2, 9.5, 9. Not that I think those scores are bad. I think it deserves those scores for reasons that I'll go into. But I think that that almost everyone who reviewed this game had played the original Demon's Souls. Or at least says they played the original Demon's Souls.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think any of the reviewers that reviewed this game had played the original.
But they act like that, you know, and I'm sure some did. But it was just such an obscure game. Like, it wasn't weird to not have played it. It was.
I think
super
there's a
obscure.
lot of just people who, because they made the remake, they just flip the switch and be like, oh, Demon's Souls was awesome back in the day.
We loved it. Yeah.
We loved it when no one played it and no one really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely before its time, and I think there's a reason that it didn't succeed in the climate that it came out to, right? But for us though, it's really different. We never played the original, so for us, it's just a new game. But you know, I think it's a good game. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's as good as as Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne's a better game But we'll get back into Bloodborne at some other time on a different podcast.
In the future.
But since that's my only reference, I thought it was good, but not as good as Bloodborne. But it's really cool as like a piece of history. I think it's a great game, though. It's a really good game. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. It is gorgeous.
Now, what do you think, though?
It's a... I had a ranking of all the Souls games in my head at some point. And I'm going to have a better feel as we progress through this series of the Souls games. And I think that this was higher in the list at the time. This might be a little lower now.
Interesting.
For certain reasons, which I want to quickly just jump into the 3 words. The 3 words we use to describe these games.
I like it.
I kind of have 6 words because they're you'll see.
I like it.
I have annoyingly easy.
Is that one word? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Incredibly beautiful and technically flawed.
Interesting. I'm really
so
curious.
Easy,
about that last
beautiful,
one.
and flawed. What would your 3 words or 6 words if you want? It's a special game.
Some
it gets
superlatives.
twice as many words.
My words are experimental, beautiful, and eccentric.
I love the experimental because that's a word that I use to describe this game a lot to like my coworkers. Because I don't have any other friends.
I used to describe it to you guys.
Hey crew, listen up. Demon Souls is experimental.
Hey bro army. Just kidding.
Oh jeez.
We're gonna get sued by a Swedish man.
No. I mean 9.
9. But no, I agree. I think experimental is great. That's why I made it my word, unlike someone else.
Oh, I'm so so daft and dumb.
You're a daft punk, my friend. I hate
They're
myself.
dead now.
They could have been dead the whole time. We don't know who's behind those biker
I
helmets.
don't even know what their faces look like. I've never listened to a full Daft Punk song before. I have just heard strange boys in trench coats singing along to them.
I've heard Daft Punk from TikToks on my wife's phone.
Me too. But we talked about this before, but I think we both think that the best way to talk about this game is by just going through the bosses and through the areas. And
love it.
What better boss to start with than the first one?
Oh.
The Vanguard Demon, my friend.
Ah, yes.
Do you want me to just go write down, like, say what I have written down first, and then we'll talk about it?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay. I'm glad you love it, because so do I.
Oh.
I have written down, it has an awesome design. Walking into that boss is awesome. What a great introduction into Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
And a quick little aside, I have, so just to preface, we are not experts at the lore of these games.
Not
so
at all.
Do not come into this podcast thinking that we're going to give you a history lesson of every single boss and enemy and character.
I'm not VatiVidya at all.
We are not VatiVidya. I think we both have loose understandings of everything.
Yeah. Stuff we picked up from like YouTube or stuff we picked up from like reading a little, from
reading the item descriptions and stuff, kind of listening a little bit to the dialogue, kind of sometimes talking to characters and not pressing X through everything. But with that being said, I do have some lore tidbits.
Ooh.
But if I get anything wrong, do not at me.
Because I don't know anything.
Please. But with the Vanguard Demons, They are the highest ranking minor demon in the game. So technically they're not an archdemon.
Yeah.
And they're not like a boss demon really. But they are the demons that when the fog rolled in, they were the ones that were in the front lines, breaking down the defenses. And we kind of Oh, go on.
So they're like the trolls that set up the towers in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Yes.
And this specific Vanguard demon was kind of imprisoned. You look at its design, it has chains all around it. And its like wings are held back almost. And supposedly the Monumental, which we'll get into a little bit later, put that Vanguard demon there to kill you. You're supposed to die.
Yes.
To go into the Nexus. But if you somehow kill him, you get killed by the Dragon God, which I have never killed the Vanguard demon. I would like to someday. I won't.
I won't. It's one of those desires.
Yeah. It's like I looked it up on YouTube. I saw what happens. That I'm good.
Pretty much.
It is cool what you get.
What do you get?
You get the original fluted helmet.
Oh, that's cool.
From the original game. It is pretty cool. Not worth it. Not worth it for the pain. But Josh, talk to me about the Vanguard demon a little bit. Like,
dude, I only did the tutorial once. After that, every playthrough I did, I just skipped it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't have time for that.
I never skip it.
I had to. I didn't have time. I wanted to get into the real game, Chris.
Yeah, enough time to beat the game twice.
That's right, I did. Vanguard Demon's interesting. I'm pretty sure I hit him like twice and got one shot in the tutorial, you know?
I've gotten him to a quarter health. It's the best I've done.
Yeah, I wasn't going to try.
Yeah.
Even, this is the thing. I'll talk about my experience with Vanguard Demon when you meet him again later. Mm-hmm. Is that okay? Because you meet him on the Isle of Storms in the first area there. And I tried to fight him up close, but you can't roll around him because he's so close to the walls sometimes.
Yeah.
And he'll just one-shot you unless you have like a lot of health, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I just spammed him with arrows. So I was like, I don't want to deal with this. It's just too annoying to run up, you know, back up to him again. But I think he's a great design, and I love his butt jiggle physics. Those are pretty impressive. He's a great boss though. He very much too distracted. He reminds me of kind of like the Asylum Demon from Dark Souls 1. He was kind of like the prototype, and I think that's what I think is most fascinating about this game is seeing like not the echoes, but like the prototypes for stuff that's going to be used in later games. The precursors, yeah. Because like for me, it's obvious. Like this guy definitely inspired the Asylum Demon.
Oh, for sure.
And we see that over and over in this game. That this was like almost their first try at Dark Souls. So it's really cool. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. But those are my thoughts on Vanguard. I mean, I didn't fight him as much as you did, so.
Mm-hmm. So you die no matter what, and you get sent to the Nexus where the Maiden in Black has resurrected you and has shackled you to the Nexus so that no matter what happens when you die, you are brought back to the Nexus. Mm-hmm. You both actually wear the Nexus binding, which is a little ankle bracelet, which is interesting. You're both imprisoned. And she sends you to, well, she doesn't send you. You have to go to Boletaria, right?
Yeah, you can't go anywhere else at first.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere else. So she tells you to go to Boletaria to kill a demon, to bring a demon soul. Mm-hmm. And after that, you go talk to the Monumental, which is this baby thing.
It is super annoying. Did you know how to find him the first time, or did you have to Google it?
I had to Google it.
I had to Google it as well. I was like, where is this?
Because why would I think that it's
up
so...
and a random person.
Yeah. Like, it's so out of the way. It
gosh.
takes so long to run all the way up to the very top and then run back to the bottom just to
There.
get a slideshow
Yep.
of a baby talking or of this young child talking. So basically, after talking to the Monumental, you find out that the goal of the game is to kind of, what's the word? Not imprison, but to, it's like for the old, what do we do with the old one?
I think because you don't kill it.
You don't kill it, but you
You
subdue
appease
it?
it or get it to go away.
Yeah,
I
you
think maybe
either
you feed it all the demon souls so it leaves or something. Because you
either
give them
make
all
it-
to the Maiden in Black, and then she leaves with the monument, or she leaves with the old one.
Yeah. Whatever you're trying to do, you're trying to get rid of the old one,
Mhm.
which is bringing this fog in and killing everyone and bringing all these demons. So you go to Boletaria and you go through the castles and you go through the palace and you get to the Phalanx demon.
Yeah.
Which is an all right boss design. It's very simple. Easy peasy is what I wrote down.
Easy peasy.
Honestly, kind of a downer compared to the Vanguard Demon, which I think has a better design. It's more striking. A little bit of lore here.
Oh.
Phalanx is the corrupted soul of a tribesman from the Isle of Storms, or the Shrine of Storms, named Ulan. And she was a knight of the Boletarian Round Table. So, like, before the first scourge, like, there's these two scourges, and I think we're in the second one.
Yes.
But before the first one, she was an archer. And she would shoot her arrows behind her legions. So phalanx is obviously a combat tactic used by the Greeks, right? Or the Spartans.
I don't remember. Was it the Romans or the Greeks?
I think it's the Spartans. So that is kind of a little bit of lore.
Yeah. And that's why she's kind of powerless, but her shield people protect her until you destroy them.
Exactly. What do you think about Phalanx?
So, I have a soft spot for Phalanx, and I don't know why.
Okay.
But I think one thing I really love about this game that I don't love about Bloodborne, and I don't know how this translates to the other, to all the other games. But in Bloodborne, it really feels like, I don't know, 7 out of 10, 70% of the bosses are similar to each other, right? In that they're just beasts. Whereas in this game, you have something like the Vanguard Demon, but then you also have something that's almost, it's not really a puzzle, but it requires a specific solution. Because this
like
fight
an
would be
obstacle course almost.
Yeah, like it's very, number one, it's very different. And number two, it has a totally different solution, right? Like you pretty much have to use fire bombs. Otherwise, it would just be super annoying to slowly whittle down the her defenders, because you can't hit them unless you get behind them, but you can't get behind them because they're using a shield wall. They're doing a phalanx. So it's just interesting, how I really like what it represents, the diversity of bosses, but it is super easy, It's like crazy easy, but it's nice because, it's kind of a big run up. It's kind of hard to open it, so it's nice that once it's over, it's over.
And you better get that shortcut, because if you die and you have to go through the entire palace again, it's
long.
It's long.
It's one of the longest areas, and the shortcut is not that great. So
it really isn't. It cuts the time in half, but still,
it's like not as good as it should be.
No.
But it's it's an okay boss. It's not crazy. It's not crazy, but I like it. I have a soft spot for it, even if it's not a difficult or crazy compelling boss, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. So after you kill Phalanx, you go through more of the palace. You cross a very long bridge where this dragon is breathing fire. And this is one of the longest runs between archstones. But if you make it to the end, defeat all the knights without getting burned by the dragon, you make it to Temple Knight. Temple
Tower Knight.
Tower Knight.
Tower Knight.
Why did I put Temple Knight?
Because you were a Temple Knight last time.
What am I thinking? Oh, because I am a Temple Knight.
Yeah, I was like, that was your class.
Oh, by the way, what class were you using?
So when I first
to beat the game the first time.
I was using Royalty.
Okay, me too.
And that was mostly so I could level in whatever direction I wanted, because Royalty starts at soul level 1.
Yeah.
And then it has pretty high dex, and it has some magic. So that's why I chose Royalty.
Nice. And what was your second?
The second one I used was Barbarian, because I just wanted to have a big fat object to hit people with.
Yes.
Which I think we do need to spend some time talking about our first and second playthroughs and like the differences. I've got some fast ones about it, but
okay,
it made a huge difference. Yeah, we'll save it.
But we get to Tower Knight, and he is, I'd probably say, the most iconic.
Definitely,
it's the one that you see in all the trailers.
He's so cool.
Yeah, he is striking, and he is 30 feet tall, and he is the corrupted soul, or corrupted form of Alfred, who's another one of the Round Table Knights.
I love it. Alfred, get in here.
We have so far Ulan and Alfred.
I know, it's like Ulan is so exotic, and then Alfred's just like your uncle.
Because Ulan is from the Shrine of Storms.
The Shadow Man.
The Shadow Man. Well, the Shadow Man. Temple Knight is...
Gosh darn you, Chris. It's Tower Knight.
Tower Knight.
Stop talking about yourself. You're so conceited.
Temple Knight has a miracle where he heals himself and he uses a big axe.
Ew.
Tower Knight is a big boy who hits hard,
Yeah.
but is slow. Mm-hmm. And he has annoying archers that shoot you while you're trying to break his Achilles heel.
Can I tell you what boss this reminded me of?
Sure, yeah.
The one reborn from Bloodborne.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
It's like the same. It's like the same but worse. Because I like Tower Knight more, but...
It's exactly the same.
It's like there's archers, you're like in a rectangular room, you can go up and kill them. It's super similar. Isn't it interesting that they just were like, hey, let's just do Tower Knight again?
Yeah, for sure. No, there is so many similarities and connections between all of the Souls games.
It's so cool.
It is very cool.
How do you like it?
Go on. I like them. I like them a lot. It's like when I fight Tower Knight, I'm like, yeah, this is a Souls game. Because, believe it or not, most of this game, I'm not feeling Soulsy.
I agree.
As I know Souls to be.
I agree, because that's why my third word was eccentric. Like, there's parts of this game that feel very Souls, but there's a lot of this game that feels very different. Does that make sense?
Zelda-esque?
Something like that, yeah. It's like...
Something where it's everything is a puzzle, almost. It's a different type of puzzle every time.
And I like that. And I also don't like that.
Yes.
So how did you know that you were supposed to hit his ankles, by the way?
No.
Yeah, I just figured it out
until I locked on. Like, once you lock on, it shows you that you can hit him in the feet, him in the foot.
Yeah. And you're like, I guess I should hit these.
You try and make your way over there. Yeah, I like Tower Knight.
I'm glad.
He's a fun boy. I have always heard so much about the big guy with the big shield. He's so cool. And he was cool. So it was kind of nice. Awesome. I wasn't let down.
I'm glad.
Like
I love Tower Knight. Life. Like mostly. Can I tell you something I was not let down by really quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so this segment is sponsored by White Castle. Just kidding, we're not sponsored. But we could be White Castle. So Grace and I were at the store, and I don't remember if it was like our date night or something.
Wait, you get those sliders or something?
Yeah, dude, they're so good.
Are they really?
They're fantastic.
I stock them like every night.
They're not bad at all. Okay,
they don't sell.
They should. Like, they're not amazing.
Now, which ones are you getting? Are you getting the jalapeno ones? Or are you getting the regular ones?
Standard.
Cheddar?
Standard. They have cheddar and they have like onions. And they are not bad at all. Like, they're good. Mm-hmm. We're like weirdly addicted to them now.
Can you hear my stomach growling?
No.
Okay.
Is it for the White Castle?
You're making me hungry here.
Dude,
Might
they're
have
so
to take
good.
a little break and get some food.
A White Castle break. Let's head to the store. Anyways, excuse me though.
No, that's fine.
What were we talking about? Oh, Tower Knight. So,
Yeah.
I love Tower Knight. I think he's, spoiler alert, he's one of my favorite bosses. I really like Tower Knight. And I think that he's really well designed because, you're trying to get around him and you're focused on him. But you also have to worry about the archers. So you can't just take your time. Like, I like that it pushes you and pressures you. And I like that you can't just be far away because then he'll use his soul arrow.
Yeah.
Which will freaking destroy you in one hit. So I just think he's really well designed. Like, they thought of everything. And some bosses they have not,
Yes.
But in this one, it really feels like they thought about how to get you in there and get you fighting him. And it's really rewarding. Oh yeah. And it's so cool. Like, once you hit his ankles and you can hit his head and you see his health bar like get chunked. Like, that's just such a good feeling as a player.
He's medium rare. He's perfect.
I love it. Oh, should we be saying how many times we've died, or are we keeping that for later?
I don't even know how many times I've died in this game. We'll save it for later.
We'll save it for later when we do the boss ranking, because that'll be a big part of this.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts on Tower Knight. He's great.
He is great. But I'm just going to go from here, because at this point, you're not allowed to proceed through Boletaria without having an Archdemon Soul.
Which is very confusing, because it doesn't tell you what an Archdemon Soul is.
Yeah.
There's a couple things in this game where they're like, do this, but they don't tell you what this is. And for me, this was really annoying. I'd come back all the time, just like, is that an Archdemon? Is that an Archdemon?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that was
this
annoying.
Mechanic comes back later, by the way.
Wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you.
In my favorite game of all time.
Dank Souls 3.
2.
Scholar of the First Djinn.
I don't know why I laughed at that. That wasn't that funny.
It was so good.
But I'm just going to go into the next Archstone, which is the Smithing Grounds or Stonefang Tunnel.
The Mole King.
The Mole King.
Who never appears.
The Burrow King.
Right, the Burrow King.
The Burrow King. No, he doesn't appear.
Which is a bummer. Do you know the lore on that? Like, I kind of wanted to figure out the Burrow King.
I kind of know a little bit of the lore behind it, but we'll get into it because it comes up later in the Archdemon.
I'll let it happen.
You'll let it happen naturally. Thank you. But we get to Armored Spider after we get through most of the mining area. Armored Spider. He is the only spider in the game.
Thank
surprisingly.
Everybody ever. I'm so happy.
But you don't see other just regular spiders anywhere. He is
Which is
legit
a little odd.
the only spider, or she might be. I think she's a she.
I always think of spiders as she's, but I think that's Tolkien's fault.
Well, no, I mean, the bigger, scarier ones are usually female. Like Black Widows are.
Goes for spiders
Crazy.
as it goes for humans.
That's right. All the male Black Widows are just like these little brown ones that don't do anything. They die. They kill them, or they let the Black Widow kill them.
Kill themselves. Yeah.
What? Why did I write this? What does
Are
that
you
even
blown
mean?
away by what you wrote? What did you say?
The only boss in the game. What am I thinking?
You must have meant to say it's the only boss in the game that does something, but that's amazing.
Probably. I didn't finish my thought.
The game.
But the Armored Spider is interesting because there could be a theory that I found on the internet.
Ooh.
And where I'm sure there's more theories, and there's probably more that makes sense, but the old monk created the Armored Spider.
Why?
And put her in Stonefang. I don't know why.
Why do people think that?
I don't know. Because there's no other spiders. So it could just be one of his like abominations or one of his creations. Because, spoiler warning, the old monk, he leaves Latria and then he comes back with all of his demons. And his goal is to make his own demons without the fog. Like, he doesn't want the old one having any, like, say in it. He creates these things by himself.
Because I know he created, like, the weird sack of grotesque monsters that you fight in Latria.
Exactly. But, like, I'm just going to guess that Armor Spider is the only spider because of how big it is, and it probably killed all the other spiders. And it doesn't, I don't know, do spiders need mates to have babies? So
pretty
maybe
sure.
there's no other mates around, so...
Just
Or
chilling.
maybe there's spiders in the 6th Archstone of the Giants that is broken.
I sure hope not. But I would have broken the Archstone too.
We'll never find out.
If it's about spiders, I'm grateful. So,
but dude, I love Armored Spider. Spoiler.
you do?
Spoiler alert, dude. I love.
Interesting.
I
don't.
She is great.
So.
I love.
I never even fought this boss fair. I never fought it fair. I always cheesed it.
Interesting.
Because I hate fighting this boss.
No, I always fight fair.
No, it's not the right way.
Well, it's not the truth either. So
this boss is so annoying. I hate this boss.
Let's move on.
Spiders don't even do that stuff. What is going on? What is this spider doing?
We'll get into the spider later because obviously we're going to have some contention here.
Why does everyone pretend like a spider has a stinger or something?
I don't know what to say to that, but okay.
All right, whatever. Next boss.
Flame Lurker.
Ooh.
Flame Lurker has a very spicy introduction. Has a nice little cutscene. So the Flame Lurker, there's a couple little theories about him. With the placement of the the god hands, which is a weapon that you get, he could be the demonic resurrection or reflection of someone named Big M. Who killed dragons with his bare hands.
Mm-hmm.
And since Flame Lurker only uses his hands to attack you, he could be the demonic representation of him, which I think makes sense. But so the lore is that he was entombed with the dragon god in ancient times. So like he's been there forever.
Yes.
So do that with what you will.
He's interesting.
How
do you feel about Flame Lurker though? How do you feel about the fight, his design?
Honestly, so like my favorite thing about Flame Lurker is his arena. And that's about it. I think he's a great boss still. I still like him. He is another one of those bosses where it feels like a Souls boss, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
But the thing is, this is where we get into the technically flawed aspect of the game. And the biggest thing is the AI.
Yeah, it's kind of
some of these bosses, they're missing something. Something's not right in their head.
A little brain dead. Yeah.
A little brain dead. A little just jumping around wherever they please. And they can easily be manipulated where they're like stuck somewhere. So the first time I fought Flame Lurker, I was a little pansy and I got him to be trapped in one of the like skeletons of the dragons.
Yeah.
And I just like cast spells at him for like 5 minutes and he died. But you know, as of recently, I've been better, been more fair, and fought him head on. And he's a good fight. You know, it's very, very simple. You hit him, you see him telegraph his attacks from a mile away, and you roll away, and you just keep doing that really. But he's a great design, and I love the arena. The arena is great. But what do you think about Flame Lurker, man?
I think he's great. I think he's, like you said, he's the first Souls boss. You know, he's the first boss that, I mean, Tower Knight kind of feels like a Souls boss, and I think you could pass him off as a Souls boss.
Yeah.
But as a person who's played mostly Bloodborne, Flame Lurker he's like an easy Bloodborne boss. You know, the way he jumps around, the way he follows
He's almost
you.
like a blood-starved beast.
Yeah, he's a lot like that if the AI was broken. You know, because there'd be times when he
telegraphed.
Like, obviously he telegraphs, which I personally like, you know, because it makes me feel like I have control.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me feel competent in the battle. But there were times when I'd roll away, and he would just, like, stand across the room. It was like, watch me. It was like, you kind of get caught in a loop or something. But even despite that, he's still pretty difficult. If you're aggressive, he's pretty difficult. But he's pretty fun. I think he's a fun fight, and I think he looks cool, and I like his moveset. You know, it's telegraphed. I had some trouble with AoEs where I'd roll behind him, but I'd still get hit, you know? Mm-hmm. But it was good. This
is like the first boss that rushes you. Mm-hmm. So kind of like, you're like, whoa, I didn't expect this.
He's much more aggressive than any of the other bosses.
Sure.
Not any, but most.
Most.
He closes on you, for sure.
He's one of the faster ones. Mm-hmm. But then we get to Dragon God right after. So, like, the pattern in this game is you defeat the first boss after a long run. Then you go through a second long run, defeat the second boss. And then the next door is the next boss.
Which is really, I'm very grateful. Because I don't want to do another long run.
Because, like, after the Dragon God, I was like, wow, that was nice. I hope this is the entire game. And it was. Yeah. Except for when we go back to Boletaria.
Yeah, Boletaria is different.
So with the Dragon God, it wasn't ever a dragon in the first place. It wasn't a living one, really. At least, well...
Sorry.
But the burrowers, the ancient ones, they crafted this temple to worship and contain the dragon bones that they found, which they believed like imbued the power of flame. So that was like just their intention, was like just to worship it and keep it safe. But then when the fog rolled in, it resurrected this humanoid demon version of a dragon.
Yeah.
Which is now Dragon God.
Horrifying.
And Dragon God is a game of hide and seek.
Yes.
Or cat and mouse, really.
Very puzzly.
And it can be very annoying because you die in one hit.
Pretty much always. Yeah.
Pretty much always. Like, with my Temple Knight character, it took, if I was lucky, 2 hits.
Yep.
But at that point, once you've been hit by him and you try to like get to one of the harpoon cannons, he's already playing his next attack. So you walk into Dragon God and it's this big, very almost Zelda-like boss fight where he's stagnant and you move around, but you have to make sure that he doesn't see you, because then he'll kill you. And you use these harpoon guns to shoot his arms, and there's one on each side. And once you do that, he'll crash, and you have to hit his tongue while it's not on fire.
Yeah.
But we had some nice interactions with the Dragon God. So this is also the first game that we've played together for the podcast.
Yes, that's true. Every other game we've played independently of each other.
Yeah. So this was I was a little wary about it, but I think it worked out.
I think it worked out well.
We didn't do all of the game together, because another thing about this game, it's awful to play in co-op. You can't do it. It's so
annoying.
It's terrible.
So annoying.
It is one of the worst experiences I've had with co-op, and this was like the first time I felt that way in the game.
Me too.
Was doing Dragon God, because at first we're like, we can't even summon each other to Dragon God, because you can't do summons in boss areas, which makes sense, I guess. But I mean, I was just too stupid. But like, regardless, the fact that you have to, someone has to be a ghost and someone has to be human, and then you summon your friend, you beat the boss, and then it sends your friend all the way back, and then you have to kill yourself to be summoned again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just takes too much time.
It's annoying. It's a little annoying. It's just like a little too much.
Yeah. Sorry for the rant.
No, I agree. I get they're trying to keep it in lore, but come
still,
on.
come on.
Just make
Let
it
me
easy
just
for
summon my friend and let's just play through the game. Luckily, they fixed that, I think, in most Souls games.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Because neither of us have ever played any of the other games in co-op, have we? Besides Neo.
No. Never.
So we'll see.
Never,
maybe
ever.
Maybe it never gets better.
Maybe.
That's the message we like to leave you with. Maybe it never gets better.
What are we fighting for? To suffer.
To suffer.
What'd you think of Dragon God?
Dude, he sucks. I hate Dragon God. I will say this. He's the boss I died to most.
Interesting.
In my runs. In all of my runs. He was the one I died to the most often.
I might be able to agree with that.
He's very annoying. He ranked disappointingly high. So, by the way, for everyone listening, I did this thing where I ranked each boss according to several different virtues, which we'll talk about later because each of us is, both Chris and I did that. But I ranked them in each like thing, each attribute, and I'll list them all right now. There's the attribute of fun, difficulty, visual design, fight design, and X factor. So anyways, I ranked each, or didn't rank, but I gave each boss a score on a scale of 1 to 100 for each of those attributes, and then added everything up at the end. And that's how they determined the ranking for me. And I will say that Dragon God ranked disappointingly high. So I was upset by how high it ranked. But I don't like him, no matter what the statistics say. He's a very annoying boss. He's an interesting idea, because I like the idea of a puzzle boss, but they should have done something different. I don't know what they should have done to fix it, but it was not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah. He is annoying. And it takes a long time. You have to be really patient.
And it sucks if you get one ballista in, and then you get most of the way through the bottom portion, and you die on the way to the second ballista. Oh my gosh.
I don't think I've ever died on the second one. It's the first one that, like...
It's way harder.
It's way harder.
It's horrible.
I think it's just because of his moveset is the punch instead of the breathing fire, because you know when he's about to breathe fire, so you can run back. But when he's punching you, it's like lightning fast. Yep,
and it's just over. Because you can't look at him and do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, for sure.
So annoying.
But you get your Archdemon Soul.
Woo.
You go back to the Nexus. I didn't go back to Boletaria until I finished all of the Archstones, so that's the order that we're talking about them in.
That's fine. We'll do your order.
That's right.
It is your show.
We get to the shrine of the Tower Queen, which is Latria. Blah. Okay.
I freaking hate Latria.
Latria is
Latria.
a prison. It's the prison of hope. And the first boss in the prison of hope is the false idol.
No, Chris, it's the fool's idol.
The fool's idol.
Fool.
Sorry. Which is, she is the old monk's puppet. So she is a manifestation of the old Tower Queen. Yes. Who is also the wife of the old monk.
Yes.
So it's called Prison of Hope because her presence being there would lure people into the church.
Because everyone loves her.
Yeah, because everyone loves her. And then from there, the gargoyles would take the poor saps to the old monks' torture chambers, and they would be turned into horrible monstrosities.
Isn't that awful? Dang.
It is pretty. It's pretty terrible. It's pretty messed up, especially knowing what the old monk creates.
They're disgusting,
It's pretty
dude.
terrible. Having your face stitched to like 10 other faces.
So gross. The sounds they make.
Yeah. But what do you think of the false idol? She makes replicants of herself.
Mm-hmm.
She has some magic.
Ooh.
But what do you think of her?
So, there's one thing. This is a good puzzle boss. Some people might find it annoying, but I really liked, because I like to explore, so I'll usually go everywhere I can before I go into the boss. And so I found the old man who is, making her.
The servant?
Essentially. The guy who's creating the apparition. And I just believed him because I'm stupid, so I didn't kill him. Anyways, then I went down to the boss fight, and I killed her. She came back. I killed her. She came back, and then I listened to like where the laughter was with my Pulse 3D wireless headset. I was kidding, but I could hear where he was,
Nice.
right? And anyway, so then I was like, oh, it's the guy. So then I went back up and I killed him, and I thought that was a cool puzzle fight.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she's supposed to be hard. Because what's hard isn't killing her. What's hard is figuring out the puzzle. Oh, that guy is making her. She's not real. So I liked her. I thought it was a really cool design. And I don't know. I think
You're
it's...
such a fool.
I'm
You
such
kill-
a fool.
You should have used your Resident Evil 4 instincts and just killed everything as soon as you saw
know.
it.
Like the dog.
Like the dog. 'Cause that's what I did. I saw him and I just killed him.
No, it's
I don't
smart.
care what he was going to say.
I learned, man. I just kill everything now.
I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know if he was like crafting a bomb. So I neutralized him.
Got like the NSA over here, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I neutralized the target. I don't know what they were doing with that cell phone.
False idol is the false idol. Fool's idol. I don't even know anymore.
The Temple Knight is the fool's false idol.
Is the king spider giant?
But what are your thoughts? Because I like her more than I think most people do because of what I said. I think she's pretty cool.
I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but I really like the Fool's Idol.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad you like the fool's idol. I think she's really cool.
She is really cool. And I do just like, I love the arena. It's just like the cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the followers in the pews and stuff worshiping her. And they attack you when you get close to her. And I like the fact that you can always tell which one is the real one by the larger soul arrow.
Yep.
And I really like her design.
She looks cool with the four
She looks
arms.
cool. I think she has the crisp blade, and she has the book in one hand, but then she has like two other arms.
She's got a really big dog turd in one hand.
Oh yeah, that's right. She has the
like a
log.
stone. Yeah.
It's like a log. It's like petrified wood. Yeah, you're right. It's like a giant, like, it almost looks like a giant baguette or something.
It's true.
Or she's holding like, have you ever seen like a Pillsbury roll thing, but without the wrapper on, so it's just like cardboard, but it's like exploding. That's what it looked like. But I liked her.
She's cool.
So you kill her, and then the gargoyles come and take you away. They bring you up to whatever that place
Upper
is called.
Latria. Yeah.
Upper Latria, there you go. And you go bloop, 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 bloop. You kill some people, bloop, 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 bloop. You have to like unshackle this beating heart,
Yeah.
and let it like collapse on itself. And then after that, like all of these like head crabs start coming out. What are they called? They're called something.
Dude, I don't know what they're called. They're just these disgusting monstrosities.
Yeah, let's just say face bugs.
Face bugs. There you go. Can I say something about this run up, just so we don't forget to talk about this area? This run up's the freaking worst. It's the worst. So
are you talking about the loop to get back to the Archstone, or just from the Archstone to the boss once you free everything?
The boss is not that bad because it's relatively quick, you know. I mean, it's still long. It's still probably like a 3-minute walk, but
Yeah.
I hate if you haven't, because when you unshackle the second chain for the heart, you have to go down into the swamp, and you have to like go through the swamp, and you have to go up a bunch of stairs, and you have to. Oh my gosh, Chris, I died down there once, and it takes, I kid you not, like 7 minutes to get back to the place where you can unshackle the heart.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous how long it takes. There's no shortcuts at all.
There isn't. But honestly, I like this run up only because of how different it is, and it's disgusting down there in the swamp or whatever you want to call that place.
I don't know what it's called. It's not called the Valley of Defilement. That's the later swamp.
No, it's not the Swamp of Sorrow either. Which
you get
is
a 2-for-1
also
deal on this game. 2 horrible swamps.
Yeah. I personally just love the grotesque nature of this area, and just like you see people being tortured the entire time.
I love it.
I love it. But there's one awful thing about this whole area.
Dime, tell me.
Those dumb Cthulhu guys in red.
That? You can hear them squishing.
I hate them. Why are they so much stronger than the others? Like, I understand that they're red phantoms, but still, why are they there? I have white tendency. Why do they have to be there? They're two in the worst possible spots that they could be. Narrow stairs. The first one just tests you. It's like, here, try to fight this guy in the stairs. And then the second one is, fight this guy in the stairs, but if you roll or do anything, you'll fall off and die. and the second one can see you from 30 miles away, and he'll start shooting his soul arrows at you.
So annoying.
So, like, what I would do is wait for him to make his way to the bottom, turn around, and I would just run up to him and either kill him, or my first playthrough where I think I had darker tendency because I didn't understand what tendency was yet. Yeah. So he was too hard. I had to just run past him and hope that he doesn't shoot me in the back.
Oh my gosh.
He has so many powers. He has the one that shoots you to the ground. He has the one that stuns you. He has the soul arrow that will kill you in 2 hits. And then he has his soul suck thing where he just kills you in 1 hit.
So annoying, dude.
They're awful, man.
It's by far the most annoying enemy in the game. I think I was killed by these more than I was killed by bosses cumulatively in my entire game.
Oh, for sure, man.
They're so annoying. I mean, they remind me a lot of that one enemy in Bloodborne when you're in the cathedral ward.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like it. It's obvious that this was the inspiration for it. But yeah, I agree. And this is the thing. I love the Valley, not the Valley of Defilement. I love this area, like all 3 stages of it. I love it from like an artistic standpoint, and from like an atmosphere standpoint. Yeah, it's like really cool. I think the prison's awesome, but this is the area I was most frustrated in, mostly because of those enemies, right?
Yeah.
And the time that I died on my way was because of that guy in the lower area when you're like going up the stairs, and he just killed me. And I was like, well, wonderful. I get to walk 7 minutes to get back to the cages so I can come back down and wait 30 seconds for it to arrive. But I do love the area aesthetically. I agree with you.
So you make your way up to the top of the tower, and you have to face Maneater, who is an evil boss. And he is the monk's like prized abomination who is protecting him, and the Maneater has the face of a human on like a bear's body, a gorilla's body, and has bat wings and a snake for a tail.
Yeah, it's like a chimera almost.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what it is, actually. And the boss is interesting. Like, it's called Maneater because the snake attached to him bites him.
Yeah.
And like enrages him and like puts venom in him, pretty much.
Yeah, puts him into rage mode and he can do poison damage or something.
Yeah. And then, like, spoiler alert, if you don't kill this one in time, or like, I think it's like 60 seconds or something, a second one flies in swoops in and kills you.
Yay!
And this boss is a really buggy boss. This is where the flawed thing comes in again, where you give these brain dead enemies the ability to fly. So they'll just fly away to like the opposite side of the sky.
So they're like dots.
And then they'll swoop back in and like get caught under the bridge that you're fighting on. Or they'll like get stunned or stuck on like a pillar and just keep smashing the pillar like an idiot.
Oh, these bosses.
But then they'll shoot
so
you with like
annoying.
some viper ray and kill you. Or the worst one is when they get in their tackle pose and they just tackle you off the bridge. You never die from them hitting you. You die from them hitting you off the bridge.
Yep.
Some sort of
Same.
AoE. Some awful hitbox.
I don't know
thing.
what the logic was when they designed this, where they were like, okay, we're going to put them on a bridge. It's going to be 2.5 feet wide. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to give the enemy every single move the enemy has will knock them back into the air. Like, that's not
At
even a
least
thing
30
most
feet.
enemies do in the game.
Yeah.
But this enemy, for some reason, can knock you like 3 feet to the side. So you just fly off the bridge. It's very frustrating.
It is
I very
very
much
frustrating.
agree.
But either you have a friend or you get lucky, which I think this boss is the most luck-based boss. You just have to
Yeah.
pray that it's stupid enough to not attack you, or that it just attacks itself over and over again. Because like like one of the best times to hit it is when it's being attacked by itself.
It's biting itself.
When it's biting itself, and then like you can cut the tail off and everything. And so that's another Souls thing that goes on later in games, where in Dark Souls 1 you cut the tail off of any enemy with a tail and you get a new weapon pretty much.
I'm looking for tails. I had no idea.
I want a tail.
But this is the thing. I think this boss would be a lot easier if it did what it was supposed to do, right? Because bosses in Souls are good when they're predictable. And that doesn't mean easy, but it means like it does a thing and you know what it's going to do next, right?
Yeah.
It's you learn the moves. But the thing is with this boss, it's just so erratic, you know? It'll fly away, it'll come back, it'll shoot the stupid AoE blast from above your head where you can't look. And you can't, you know what I mean? Anyways, so I agree that it's super luck based and that you just got to hope that you don't get knocked off the edge for no reason. It just never feels like your fault when you die. Whereas with like Flame Lurker, it's like, oh, that was my fault, you know?
Yeah. I shouldn't have rolled there or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But then you defeat Maneater. And you get up to the old monk after killing 2 more of those Cthulhu guys.
Wonderful.
For some reason. And
Why
then,
they
like,
put them there?
the
Who
baby
knows?
face bugs are up there.
Yes.
I actually have a funny story. So, one of my first times getting to this area, I finally defeat Maneater, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I touch the archstone. Okay, I'm good. So if I die during the boss, I'll respawn. But I roll into the stairway, and it shoots me above the Maneater's boss. Or not the Maneater's boss, the old monk's boss arena.
What?
Right? So I'm like, oh, this is funny. And then I'm like, wait, how do I get out? 'Cause this isn't a normal game where like you can like load your
Quit.
save or load your checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It's saving as I'm stuck in the game. I'm stuck between 2 walls, and like I finally somehow like get into my menu while rolling, and it breaks me out, but I start falling. And I was falling, dude, seriously, for 10 minutes. I finally reached the bottom and die and respawn at the shrine. That was the only way I could do it.
Dang.
Because I turned my game off and turned it back on, and I was still stuck.
Thank you, Blue Point.
I almost cried.
You thought you would
'Cause I
have to
was like-
start over and go through Maneater again.
Exactly. Like, I didn't care about having to play 15 more hours of the game to get back to where I was. I was like, I have to fight Maneater again? after
just
at
not
this
play?
point, dude, like I said, I screwed up with tendency at this point
Uh-huh.
because I didn't understand it at all.
Because it doesn't explain it.
It doesn't explain it. So I had horrible tendency because I would be reborn as a human, summon a friend or like a regular guy to come help me, and then I'll die. And then I left because I wanted to go back to the Nexus and like try something else. And then when I came back, it was pure black tendency. Because it doesn't explain to you that like once you leave, that's when the tendency changes.
Yep.
And then at that point, it also doesn't explain that the game is like 30 times harder.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Like enemies have so much more health and they hit so much harder. But yeah, so I finally get to the old monk, and you find out that the old monk is just gonna summon a guy for you. Another player. So I played this game mostly offline.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I needed help.
Yeah.
So the first time I fought the old monk was against another player, and I got destroyed because they were so much stronger than me. But a quick little tidbit of lore here.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, old monk is the husband to the Queen of Latria, and at some point he disappeared from the Prison of Hope, and then he came back possessed by these golden robes, which are like an ancient heirloom of their family, I believe. And he came back with an army of demons, and his whole goal is to create his own demons in some horrible fashion. But talk to me about this old monk boss fight.
So, I fought the first time I played the CPU, and it was like ridiculously easy. Like I think I beat him in like 15 seconds.
Oh yeah,
it's nice.
It's laughably easy,
which I loved. But after that, I tried to fight. The second playthrough, I tried to fight him online, and man, it was pretty annoying. It was like really hard, just because they can heal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was the problem. I think I almost killed him like 3 or 4 times, but then he just heal. Anyways, eventually I got killed. It just feels really annoying. I hate being killed by people online. Usually when someone invades me, I don't want them to have the the like satisfaction of killing me. So I'll either like try to kill them, or I'll just run away and jump off an edge just because I don't want to fight them. But anyways, with this, it was super annoying. Anyways, then I turned it off and killed the CPU. I didn't redeem myself at all.
Yeah.
But it has the iconic turban. So there's that.
Yeah, you get the iconic turban. What would suck was like if you try to summon somebody into, like if you're human, you'll just be summoned as the boss.
Oh, really?
It's really annoying. Because I would try to be summoning
interesting.
somebody, and then it'll be like transporting to another world, and it'll send you as the boss. It got so annoying.
That's so
It
weird.
was stupid.
That's funny. I had no clue that was a thing.
Yeah. I was so lucky to have like 2 or 3 people, come up. Because I would go in. This was the worst part. This was before I even defeated Maneater. So I was the old monk before I defeated Maneater.
Really? I had no idea.
It was so lame.
That.
I was like, oh, this is the last boss of this area. Because I would be trying to summon somebody, and it would summon me into the old monk's boss area.
Oh,
so that was kind of a spoiler alert. I was like, or a spoiler. I was kind of pissed off about that.
You hear that, Blue Point?
Yeah. You peed me off.
I was pissed.
Pissed.
Pissed. Got the piss in your sock.
Piss in your sock. But you get through stupid old monk.
Next area.
Next area, please. Thank you. And you get to the Shrine of Storms. Which is the home of the Shadowmen. And
Ulan.
Ulan. And the bosses in this area are the demonic manifestations of legends of the Shadowmen, or lore. Or,
That's nice.
They're not really real. Except for the old heroes kind of real. That's not real either. That is just what they worshipped as the ocean, pretty much. And like they
Oh.
worship the Storm King as just the rain coming in, pretty much.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
You said you weren't Vadividya. You're pretty much Vadividya.
pretty much. I just need to start talking like him.
And now, we're going to talk about the Storm King.
The adjudicator, a demon who grew fatter, eating the demon slayers who attempted to penetrate deeper into the Shrine of Storms.
That was very good Vadividya.
Thank you.
We gotta tell him.
I stumbled a
tell you.
little bit, but that's fine.
That's okay.
I couldn't read my handwriting for a second. Having a stroke.
Every day.
But like I said, so before we get into the adjudicator, adjudicator, which is the hardest thing to say when you're reading it.
Yes. Adjudicator. Adjudicator.
At some point, I think I had a B in there. Like reading it in the game, I'm like, why is there a B there? Adjudicator.
Abadubigator. A big gator.
A big gator, that's right. So you get into the Shrine of Storms, and this very cinematic lightning strike strikes the tree as you press forward.
Which startles me every time.
Dude, I love it. I wish it happened more often in this area, but it's just that one time. If you miss it, you miss it.
I could not miss it because it deafens me and terrifies me.
But you fight some skellies. Some skellies have some arrows. Some are black skellies, and they have dual katanas.
Freaking katanas! Holy crap!
But once you get to like the first fortress of the island, you meet up with your old friend Vanguard.
Ah, Vanguard.
So talk to me. You said you wanted to talk about Vanguard again.
Yeah, I just cheesed him.
Oh, okay.
I cheesed him. Yeah, I just shot him with arrows.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's pretty hard. Like in my second playthrough, I didn't cheese him, or I guess my
third, fourth, yeah,
third or fourth. I didn't cheese him. I fought him head on. Just because my build was Temple Knight, so it's like I didn't really have any ranged attacks.
Yeah, you gotta be up there.
I had to be up there with him, face to face. But this one's interesting because he's not shackled.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, he's just chilling. He has an axe now, and
he's harder than any boss in this area. Yet he's just a normal enemy who gives
he's
you
a
like
cleaner
900 souls.
Yeah,
So it's horrible.
And then at the same time, you have these flying. They're called I actually forgot what they're called. They're storm something.
We call them manta rays.
Manta rays, but they're just flying stingrays.
Yes.
And they shoot their own marrow at you.
Ew, really?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's not
Or
good.
they shoot like Cloudstone is like the marrow.
That's unhealthy.
Yeah, it's very unhealthy. But you get through a couple little dungeons. You get through a couple little cliffs with some gold skellies. And then you get to Adjudicator. Which, like I said in Avati's voice, is a demon who grew fatter, eating the demon slayers who attempted to penetrate deeper into the Shrine of Storms. And this is a little excerpt from the Adjudicator shield that you find in the game.
Ooh.
In quotes.
Oh.
Cowardly acts and the eating of birds must not be deeds of a hero of storms. If the one being judged displeases the Adjudicator's master, the Golden Crow, the deceased soul will be gnawed upon until nothing but their bones remain. So,
Wow.
the Adjudicator, if I'm reading that correctly, is creating all the skeletons because they are the demon slayers trying to penetrate the shrine, but he's gnawing them to only bones, and then they're just skellies.
And it's the Golden Crow.
And it's the Golden Crow.
That's the actual
stuck on his head.
Adjudicator.
Yeah.
What
Who's the
do you
judge?
think-
The judge.
Yes. Do you think that the Golden Crow is in some way related to the other crow, Sparky or whatever?
I don't think so.
Why are there two crows in one area? There's 2 crows in the whole game, and they're both in the same area.
I mean, maybe.
I just think it's interesting. You know, like I don't know why. But
Sparky, that's what you called him again?
I think it's called Sparky.
There's 2 of them. There's like, I forgot. But Sparky's another one of those things that's in every Souls game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think he has a different name. But this entity of a bird in a nest that will trade you things is always in a Souls game. Maybe not in Bloodborne, but in all
Bloodborne?
Demon Souls and all the Dark Souls games there is. And,
interesting.
But that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
It's just, it seems like it's probably not an accident if there's 2 crows in the same place. But I never thought I never thought Adjudicator was a crow, just because it's gold.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a really good... What's the thing? I cheesed Adjudicator. I just shot him. But I've heard he's really easy anyway. Like, I've heard he's a really easy boss.
He's really easy. You just go down there, you hit his wound where he stabbed himself. Mm-hmm. And he falls down, and then you hit the crow. You basically have to do that like 2 or 3 times, and then he's dead.
Nice. And I heard he turns super slowly.
Yeah,
he's just really easy to dodge.
He's very easy to dodge. He's just a big fat ball of slime.
Yay. Kind of like Vanguard.
Flesh.
He's just butter covered in brown sugar.
But Adjudicator is interesting. I like that you start above him, and like his tongue will whip you through the ground. That's disgusting. A little annoying, but
did you know that you can easily dodge the tongue? Because anytime the tongue's gonna hit you, the crow caws.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It is nice.
I think that this, even if it's an easy boss, I think he's really well designed because you have you have a reason to go down to avoid the tongue. Mm-hmm. You have a good tell for the tongue, even though you can't see it. Right, the crow will caw. That's another thing I like about this boss is and a lot of the bosses in this game, is that there's usually several ways to dispatch of them. Mm-hmm. So I like that, even though I don't think this is a polished boss. I think he has some really cool qualities that I like.
For sure, absolutely, totally agree with you. But you get through him, and then you have to fight the old hero.
This is the worst run up in the game.
Oh, for sure. This is the worst because you have the manta rays in the sky shooting you when you're on the cliffs,
and then you get into the golden skeletons.
Yeah, and then you get into the actual like tunnel area where there are reapers that will one-shot you. Mm-hmm. And all of these like ghosts or whatever. But it's a very long run up.
It's very annoying.
Very long and very treacherous. Very annoying.
And old hero can like one-shot you. He's
crazy
this run up
strong. Really ruins this entire Archstone area.
I agree, because this Archstone I think would actually be my favorite, just because I spent a ton of time grinding for Bladestone and for Souls in this general area for a long time before I went to Old Hero, and then oh my gosh, it totally soured my perception of the entire area.
For sure, I agree. And then you get to Old Hero, who is an old hero entombed. Because he was able to get past, he was judged.
Yeah, he's judged to be good.
He was approved, and he got to go on. He was entombed with all of the other heroes, and he is definitely revered by his tribe. It's kind of weird. I was looking for lore about the blind hero or old hero. And there really is no lore I could find about him.
No.
So
I think
he is what he is. He's blind. So like the more noise you make, he'll attack that general area. Mm-hmm. He swings violently all around his body.
Uh-huh.
He's pretty annoying. If you have magic, he's easy, but he just takes a little long. Design is kind of...
yeah, he's like mediocre.
I don't like that he's glowing yellow.
I think it's odd. I thought that
It's
was odd as
very
well.
odd. Does that mean that he like you have the black phantoms and the red phantoms, this gold phantom, is that because he was good?
Well, I don't know. The bird is gold as well, so maybe it has something to do with that.
But Storm King isn't gold in any respect, so
I know it's kind of odd. It's and that's the other thing. Storm King kind of feels like a really odd ending to this area.
yeah.
Even though I like Storm King, he's one of my favorite bosses actually. But like,
Uh-huh.
he seems very out of place, almost. Even though he is, a mana ray like all the other enemies, it just seems like kind of, I don't know, because there's an obvious story in Latria. There's a pretty obvious story in Boletaria. There's a really obvious story in the Veil. What is it called? The something of defilement, right? The Valley of Defilement.
Yeah.
And even the digger, or not the digger king, the freaking burrow king. You're digging. Even the burrow king, like I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't get it.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, but he's a cool boss. I like Old Hero. I think it's a really cool idea to make a boss that can only hear you. Like, it's a cool idea. I don't know how well done it is. You know what I mean? I wish they did more with the sound. It's like
he
half
doesn't
baked.
really attack you if you break into the pots and pans.
No, he doesn't notice.
Or just pots, there's no pans. It's not kitchen.
He doesn't get mad at you when you touch his Teflon.
He's just the cook.
I wish they'd done something where you had
He's
to
John
get him to
Favreau
go
from
somewhere
that one
or
Cook
something.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a lot of these bosses are half baked, and this is one of them.
And like, not necessarily in a horrible way. It's just because
Or like
obviously they're
3/4
trying.
baked.
Yeah, they just need a little bit more work. And I wish Blue Point had changed them almost. I know people would have been pissed, but
Yeah, they just want to be faithful. So
too bad you were faithful to a dog turd. Just kidding.
Yeah. It's like you could have made some things better.
Like, they should have changed Dragon God. They should have changed Old Hero just a little bit, so there was a little bit more to the mechanic of sound. They should have changed Flame Lurker's AI to work. They should have changed Maneater's AI to work. Or I don't know.
They should have let you play the whole game in co-op.
Yes. Well, whatever. I think we're going to be disappointed when we learn how co-op works in the other games, man.
I think so too. But you killed the blind man.
As one does.
As one does. And you go straight into Storm King, which is, like I said before, the manifestation of the Shadowman's god of rain, pretty much. And funny little aside. So, to really kill this boss, you use the Storm Ruler, which is the sword that harnesses the power of the wind, pretty much. And it pierces through the wind. Like, this game is so beautiful that when you use the Storm Ruler to pierce through the rain, you see the rain particles fly other directions. It's amazing. It's amazing. And like when you're under the Storm King, there's no rain. Mm-hmm. It blocks the rain. It's so good.
Like, this is the thing. No matter what we say about the game, about whether it's good or not, people should buy this game just because it's so good beautiful.
It looks. Exactly. Exactly.
It's like the Crisis of PS5. You know what I mean?
It's like the Order 1886 of PS5.
Don't say that, but yeah, it is.
But in Dark Souls 3, there's a boss named Yorm the Giant, and you kill him with the Storm Ruler.
I heard.
The exact same way.
That's cool.
Right? It's like, what does that mean?
There's a bunch of swords. Like the Makoto or the Makoto.
Yeah.
The Moonlight Blade. Obviously,
the Uchigatana.
Ruler, the Uchigatana. They're in every game.
Yeah. Characters are in nearly every game. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Patches, who we haven't mentioned yet, but you meet him in the Burrow King Archstone. And funny enough, like, if you do a few certain little quests, where you try to be evil and have pure black tendency and pure black character tendency, this, I think her name's Yuria the Witch, will show up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in Dark Souls 3, and she is very different in that game. And I think there is obvious reasons because, I mean, I'm just going to say, I think all these games are connected, whether FromSoft wants to say so or not. I think it is. They have to be. And I even think Bloodborne is connected somehow, and Sekiro is somehow connected.
Sekiro. Sorry.
It's fine.
I can't help it.
I know, I don't mean either. But the fact that Storm Ruler is a thing in both of these games, I mean, come on.
Come on.
This boss is too easy, though.
It's very easy.
It's beautiful. I love the monolith, like the
Monolith Valley or whatever.
Yeah, Monolith Graveyard or whatever it is. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And just seeing all of the manta rays just blacken the sky.
It's really cool.
Having this giant one that's like basically like a bomber plane, like shoot you with homing crystals, and it like I love it when it comes in the cutscene. It's like a carrier ship. It has all the little manta rays on top of them. It's just funny.
Oh, I love Storm Ruler.
It's like a battleship.
Storm King. It's so cool.
Or
like,
an aircraft carrier.
No, I agree. I love that, man. It's just like who thought of this? It's so cool.
Yeah.
And it looks great. I love this boss fight. Great. Even though it's not hard.
Yeah, it's too easy if you use the Storm Ruler. And even then, like if you're a royalty class, you can just soul ray him to death. He'll be dead.
And I had a nice bow, and I easily, it's not hard.
But you defeat him, and then you go to our final area, which is the Archstone of the Chieftain, the Valley of Defilement.
Oh yeah.
The Swamp of Sorrow.
Oh yeah. The worst.
This place is very much like certain areas in other Souls games.
Yes.
Anytime there's a swamp area in a Souls game, it's usually the worst.
It's always the worst. You can't move. You get poisoned for no reason.
You fall through the ground and you die, and you have enemies that try to push you off the map.
Fun. Real fun.
Fun. You can't see anything.
No.
You have a bunch of Wattos attacking you. Big and small.
Big and small.
Bunch of Alfs in the room.
What's your one word for this area?
How do you want me to describe it? Like,
just the word that comes to mind.
I mean, dingy, obviously, but I'm thinking more of the aesthetic and the atmosphere. But honestly, just tell me yours. What's yours? I mean,
it's just unpleasant. It's
unpleasant.
Just like
that's a good.
It's just
word.
An unpleasant area. Like, it's not fun. The enemies are a fodder. They're so easy to kill.
This? A sarcastic swell.
Yes, that's how I feel when I play
like
it.
Brody would say in Jaws.
Swell. I love Jaws. We almost bought the board game yesterday, by the way.
I have the board game.
I know you do.
I don't know if you noticed. I have little Solaire here.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I do see him now.
Yeah.
Solaire's from Dark Souls 1, right?
He's just from the Souls series.
Oh, is he in all of them?
I know of him in 1 and 3. I don't think he's in 2. Little boy.
You weren't in 2
Here's some
either.
texture for the audience. It's me tapping his little helmet.
Aw, what a cutie pie. But he's not in this game, Chris. Calm down.
You're right. I'm sorry.
We gotta talk about Leechmonger in this unpleasant and swell area.
You want me to tell you my one word for Leechmonger?
I would love that.
Boring.
I see.
He is the most... Leechmonger is just stupid.
He's a pushover.
He is. He's just like a pile of maggots or slugs.
Yeah, he's like a pile of leeches or something.
Because he's Leechmonger.
He mongers the leeches.
The only good thing about this boss is when you like enter his arena, you see him just on the bottom. It's like this cool thing where like you make your way around to the bottom
Yeah.
to get close to him. But at the same time, he's shotgun blasting piles of leeches at you.
Yeah, he's just throwing his body at you.
Which
But he's
heals
not
him
accurate.
if they
it's
attack
really easy for him to not hit you.
you. Yeah. I like the idea that he uses them to heal himself if they get to you.
It's cool.
It's kind of cool, but talk about uninspired he is. He looks like Sandman from Spider-Man if he was just made of leeches.
He reminds me of what's that horrible movie that everyone loves with Jack Skellington, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, you're right.
People love
Me
that
too.
movie, and some people like it. I get it, like I understand it, but it gave me nightmares as a kid because
Who cares? I still see people with stickers of that movie on their car. Like, who
I know
cares?
dude? A lot of people love it. I don't get it. I guess to each their own. I'm not a fan at all, just because it is horrifying to me.
Oh, it's spooky. It's Christmas, but Halloween.
Cries. But you know how in the end the boogeyman gets cut open and the bugs pour out of him?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
He's the boogeyman from the Jack Skellington movie. That's right. He's the worst.
Stop talking about him.
He's just a half-baked boss. We don't need to say any more.
Yeah.
Let's talk about his evolution, his next phase.
Yeah. Honestly, like, this is the next idea they had. One that shoots flies at you.
Like a freaking cannon, dude.
Honestly, the Valley of Defilement has the most boring bosses.
Here's the thing. I like Dirty Colossus. He made a special impression on me.
I like him too.
What?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Wow.
You hear
Interesting.
me?
Interesting.
You hear the words I'm saying?
I do now. Put him in to my ears.
He's less boring than the Leechmonger. Dirty Colossus, he'll shoot flies at you. He has this nice, neat mechanic where if he hits you with the flies, you can go to these like torches and it'll burn the flies off you. Mm-hmm. And then, that being said, you use fire to attack him and he dies. And he has a cool design. He has a giant maggot for a head.
Mm-hmm. This is disgusting.
And his arena is very cool. I love his arena.
Me too.
Like, looking up, there's just spikes everywhere. It's like, this is where I think, lore-wise, where like people will just fall and die. They come to die here, pretty much.
I know that he's supposed to be like a conglomeration of all the filthiest things that kind of just like came together and formed a body.
Yeah,
there's a wagon wheel in there. Must have been a really bad wheel.
I don't know where the cannon for a hand comes from.
It's a bad cannon, apparently. Really gross.
It's a really gross cannon.
It is. It shoots flies.
Yeah.
But he's really good at like controlling you, which I think is a sign of a good boss. Like, you have to be moving, you know? You can't just shoot him from far away. You have to get in close, but then he has some really big hitting attacks if you are close. So I think that's a sign of a good boss, that you have to keep moving and you have to pay attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Let's just move on. We're almost to the end before we get into our like rankings.
Well, I guess we got a couple more, huh? We got to go back to
we got 3 more.
King Allant.
We have Lady Estrella, who is a missionary for whatever, I forgot their religion's name.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
That's right.
No,
she's a missionary.
What is their religion? I don't know.
I don't remember.
It's like soul magic or something. Soul arts. That's what it is.
Something like that. She has a very interesting story. She was one of the first ones to go into the fog. And she wanted to heal people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when she got to the Valley of Defilement with her bodyguard, what's his name? Garl Vinland. Something like that. She felt so bad for all the people and the creatures in the valley or in the Swamp of Sorrow that she took upon an archdemon soul so that she could comfort them. So her intentions are good, even though she's an archdemon now, and she is like taken upon a demon's soul. So she renounced her religion, and is now basically caressing everything that comes there to die.
Yeah, she like comforts it in death.
Yeah. And in the same token, she is waiting to die, pretty much. Like, I love when you get into that arena area, even Garl is just like in a pile of dead bodies and he has to get out of it. He wakes up because what his job is to basically kill anybody that comes down there. He's
trying to just protect her. Oh my gosh.
And you have these disgusting like blood babies.
Plague babies. They're disgusting.
Well, yeah,
they're awful.
They'll kill you.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't roll or do anything in the blood.
And they'll surround you, so you can't move at all.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
The hard way.
But tell me about Lady Estrella, Josh. I think we're both pretty hot on her.
Don't tell my wife.
Don't tell my wife. But this dead lady, she's pretty cool.
She's pretty nice. Maiden Estrella.
Sorry.
I don't know what you're on, Chris.
I don't know what I was doing. I was writing all these names at work last night, so
I
that's
feel like you just made up
it.
half these names. Like the first draft names. But
Yeah,
Maiden Estrella.
Sorry.
Maiden Estrella's arena. Oh my gosh! Just and the cutscene before it. This is the thing. The second time playing the game, I skipped every cutscene except hers.
Oh yeah, hers is the best.
The atmosphere for this fight is incredible. And now, I actually never fought Garl Vinland. I just shot her with arrows. I didn't really think about it. I just kill her.
Yeah.
Just, but I know you're supposed to just kill Garl Vinland, and then she kind of commits suicide. Like, she lets herself die so you can take the soul.
Yeah. So in my second playthrough, I killed Garl for the first time. And he was a pansy.
Oh, really? I thought he was super hard.
Oh, he's super hard, but I mean, come on. I had the dragon smashing sword, and in one hit, he just like face to the floor.
He's like face plants. Oh no.
So I just kept doing that because like all you have to do is bait him to do his giant swing, and then you can hit him. He's super easy, sadly.
Aw, that's sad.
But I remember like my first couple playthroughs being afraid of him, just like deathly afraid.
So cool and so intimidating.
I know.
What a fantastic design the two of them
took his
together
armor.
are. I wore it.
I wore his skin. And then you go over to Maiden Estrella and like you could just swing at her and kill her like a monster. I talked to her and she was like, take this soul and do what you will. And yeah, she like after she gives you the archdemon soul, she dies.
Yeah,
or like,
she gets pretty sad.
Her soul just disappears.
Well, I think she's connected to the demon soul at that point.
Yeah.
So when she relinquishes it to you, she dies.
Yeah.
Which is sad. She's very cool.
She is cool. And there's a pretty cool side quest that involves Garl Vinland in that area. I don't know if you did.
No.
Oh.
I didn't do any side objective at all in that area. I just zoomed through the bosses because I hated it there.
I'm pretty sure if you have pure white tendency, Garl Vinland's sister appears. And she's looking for him to give him something that his father has for him. It's like an heirloom, pretty much. It's the ring that the main clerk that you save, forgot his name.
Oh, Sage Freak?
No, not him. That's the mage.
Oh, the cleric.
The cleric dude.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Once, like they're in the same religion, so Garl's father was going to give him the ring that pretty much just says that he is of a higher authority in the church now. He has more religious power now, and it's a ring that grants you more miracles or something. So after you kill Garl, obviously you go to the sister, tell her that he and Maiden Estrella had turned to the demon soul, she gives you the heirloom, and it's the ring.
Oh,
So it's pretty cool. It's a sad but neat little world building side quest.
that is neat. Thank you, Blue
But yeah,
Point.
Maya Shrine is great. Are you ready to move on?
I am. I'm ready. She's great,
So-
but let's do it.
We go back to the Tower Knight's Archstone, and now we can finally go through the door since we have now 4 Archdemon souls. And you go through more of Boletaria. You have many of those knights with the glowing red helmets that are awful.
So awful.
You have the blue dragon fighting you now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all the while this is going on, there's this man you find in the fluted armor named Ostrava of Boletaria, who at this point you have found out that he is actually the son of King Alant,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to stop his father.
Oh, I love Ostrava, dude.
Yeah, he's great.
Makes me so sad.
It's very sad. But before you can get to Alant, you have to go through the Penetrator, who hates the fat officials. He has a
A
hatred
lot,
for them.
apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, and he hates Bior of the Twin Fangs, which is a character that you obviously haven't met.
Never met Bjor.
He's an NPC. If you free him, he'll help you in the Penetrator fight, and the Penetrator will just ignore you completely because of how much he hates Bior.
Oh. Well, where do you find
who-
Bjor?
He's so right before the Tower Knight.
Uh-huh.
There's like the door. So like, you know where that one knight is standing in front of the
Oh,
Tower Knight
I know the
gate?
locked door. Yeah, I know exactly where that door is. I was wondering how you get in.
If you get the key, you go down there. You can free him.
Where's the key?
I forget. Sorry. Sucks to suck, buddy. I forgot who the second Twin Fang was. No, it's somebody.
Dior. The perfume.
I think the second Twin Fang is actually outside of the fog, because they're the one that made it out and warned everyone about King Lot.
Oh, you're right. I think that's right. That sounds
I
very correct.
forgot. I think it's a girl. I forgot her name. But the Penetrator is actually the demonic reflection of another Knight of the Round Table, and their name is Metas. Metas. Who? Here's a funny little thing I'm gonna teach you about.
Wow.
Metas is the son of Rydell,
Oh, the guy
who
that's in
is
the prison.
who is the nephew. So Metas is the nephew of King Alant.
So
Which makes
Lord
him the
Rydell is
cousin
the
of
brother of
Ostrava.
King Alant.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So they're all related.
Huh.
But King Alant is I think King Alant pushed away Rydell. Or Rydell, wherever you
Well, it
you
seems
wanna
like
call
it since he's in prison.
Yes. So it's all these little things, and Metas made it into the round table. But Penetrator, I think, is the most Souls-like boss in the game. Is the
can see
most
that.
you look at it, you're fighting a bigger guy with a bigger sword.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like the precursor to Knight Artorias.
Yes, exactly. What do you think of the Penetrator?
I love his entrance. I think his entrance
Mm-hmm.
is awesome. Took me by surprise. I think he's a really interesting boss because he makes you pay a lot of attention because his swings are often very delayed.
Yeah.
Which is cool because it makes it so you have to learn. You have to learn his hits. You can't just dodge immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. I think he's a really cool boss. I didn't think he was as hard as I feel like a lot of people did.
Yeah, people
But
said
I
he
liked
was
him.
really hard.
I thought he was pretty easy. I never had a problem with him. He's cool. I think he's a cool boss. I like him a lot.
Did you ever get stabbed by his lunging attack?
No, the second he did that, I was out of there.
Dude,
So
it's pretty great. He lifts you up into the air with his sword and then throws you with it.
that's dope.
It's pretty cool. I took. I'll save some. I'll save it.
Oh yeah, you save it.
Yeah, I like the penetrator. You can actually get his armor set.
I know, and you can also use the sword.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. I like how there's like blood floating around his blade.
Yeah, it's
very
cool.
interesting.
He's got a great.
I wonder what the lore is behind that.
I don't know.
But you kill him, easy peasy.
Easy
and
peasy.
You make it through the rest of Boletaria. Nothing really too interesting besides stuff I've already told you about. Or stuff we've already discussed about. Ostrava fails to stop his father.
That's so sad.
And he gives you the key to the mausoleum where his uncle resides to give you the family sword, basically Demon Brand or Soul Brand.
Mm-hmm.
One of them. I think it's a Demon Brand.
He gives you Demon Brand,
yeah. Because Allant has Soul Brand.
Yeah.
That's his favorite sword. And after Ostrava dies, you have to fight him as a Black Phantom.
Yes.
And you kill him.
And you feel bad about it.
And you feel bad about it. I feel like this game could have used a little more cinematic or atmospheric music. Because Souls games have amazing soundtracks.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Just outstanding. Especially in 3 and 1. Because I don't want to talk about 2.
And Bloodborne has amazing music. Incredible music.
Like the end boss in Dark Souls 1. Oh, that song is so somber and sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like Made in Estrella could have used some sort of song that made you feel bad for what you were doing, or reflected that.
I never noticed the music in this game, which made me a little sad.
It's very quiet.
The only time I ever noticed the sound design for any boss was actually Old Hero, because there's no music.
Yeah,
which is cool, but
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's sad though. I agree with you.
In the PS3 version, the songs aren't the same, or
it's
they're
totally
the
different.
same structure, but how they're created is completely different.
That's what I heard.
And they stand out a lot more in the original.
Interesting.
But now we're at King Allant. You go up the very long elevator to your death, pretty much. Because you just saw like
cool,
Ostrava die, who was like your hero, kind of.
He's so cool. Everyone loves Ostrava, cool. Even though he's pathetic and can't do anything on his own.
Please help!
Please help me, these dredgelings.
I know. But you get to King Allant, who is the KFC Colonel.
Yes, he is.
Dude, I can't stress enough. He has the lamest design.
Okay, I agree. I love him as a boss fight, but the way he looks, like his visual design is not that great.
He looks, I mean, I understand that. So he is the false king.
Yes.
And so he is kind of just a
fake apparition.
An apparition, almost a hologram, almost.
Yeah.
Of the real King Allant. He's like a reflection of him.
Yeah.
Of how he used to be. So he's just like perfect, glowing white. Has a weird goatee and ponytail.
It's kind of odd. Just a little weird. I don't know what I would have wanted though. That's the thing. Like I don't know what I would have.
Yeah,
I like that he doesn't have armor. Like
yeah,
I like
he's so
that he's
strong that he doesn't need like armor and protection.
Exactly.
He has like some pretty crazy moves. He's very much a cool. Souls boss.
He feels like a slow Bloodborne boss.
Yeah.
Like a slow hunter boss, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. How he has a giant devastating AoE attack. If he's far away from you, he can shoot wind at you, but then like zip at you like Naruto or something.
Close the distance.
Yeah, he
Oh,
closes
he's
the
so cool.
distance, and he has a awful soul suck move
Yep.
that he spams.
Poor you.
Poor me. Okay, I'll just say it. I've never had a problem with King Alon until my playthrough for this podcast, where I was talking to you while I was fighting him,
Yeah, it was hilarious.
and he used soul suck on me 5 times in a row. It was ridiculous.
He figured out what worked, man. He just
Honestly.
kept doing it.
I was too slow. I was using Garl's armor, and I had the bone smasher sword, and I don't think I had the Tower Knight shield. I had just the steel shield, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. But I finally killed him because he's a wuss. Because I had somebody help me.
Oh, you did? Oh, I thought you did it on your own.
Did I? Maybe I didn't.
Who knows?
No, I totally did. I had someone help me.
You're not
I
strong.
just couldn't. At that point, I just couldn't care to fight him head on.
I couldn't care enough.
But you kill him, and then you're sent back to the Nexus, and then the Maiden in Black takes you to what resembles certain areas in other Souls games.
It does.
And you're there to stop the old one.
Yeah.
And we don't really have to talk about the real King Alon or old King Alon. He's just like a slug. He's just a sludge of his former self holding the soul brand.
Yeah.
And he whimpers at you and fumbles on himself and he tries to swing at you. But you kill him, you get his soul, and you have the choice of, you can stomp on the Maiden in Black's face. You can smash her skull in, or you can let her do what she's got to do to stop this. Because so the Nexus is hovering above the old one. So you finally break through and you fall down, which is kind of cool because you can look up and see the shadow of the Nexus.
It's very anime.
Yes, it
That
is.
was the way it all happens. It's pretty cool.
But I love the design of the old one.
Me too. Very cool.
It's so cool. It's just like branches and trees. It's giant trees.
And like brass symbols sticking out of its back. Yeah. Oh, it's very cool.
It's very much the end of the world.
Yeah. It really somehow communicates that just through its appearance.
Mm-hmm. But that is all of the bosses.
That's Demon Souls.
That is Demon Souls.
Demon's Souls.
By the demons. I have the Archstones. Did you want to quickly rank them?
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to talk about them before we get into our ranking of the bosses and fast ones?
Oh, not really. Just, which Archstone is my favorite, which one's my least favorite. Stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Definitely the first Archstone is my favorite. Boletaria is easily my favorite area overall. I love Boletaria.
I'm with you there, buddy. I am really with you there.
I don't No, you go.
Oh, I was going to say it has that familiar feeling of, I always bring this up, just that feeling, kind of like a Resident Evil 4 vibe.
It's like a
It reminds me of the castle,
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of just a cozy feeling when you pop into the first gate and you just run up. It's like I could just play that intro over and over again.
It's perfect. It feels very soulsy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it.
And okay, this is how I would rank them really quick. Boletaria.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it would be Shrine of Storms if it wasn't for that run up, but we'll have to go with Tower of Latria, Stonefang, Shrine of Storms, and then Valley of Defilement.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if I had
those
a better
middle three can be switched out at any point because they're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same quality.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the Isle of Storms sometimes, and I really hate it sometimes.
Dude, the beginning of Isle of Storms is
It's the
amazing.
best.
It's so good.
I
Like,
agree.
the rain effects are incredible, and like fighting skeletons is just classic medieval
Feels
game. You know, it's very Souls like, and yeah, it's just like, if it wasn't for that stupid run up to
I agree.
Old Hero,
And
because the run up to Adjudicator is just fine.
it's fine. It's not bad at all.
It's fine.
It's fine. I grew to love fighting the black skeletons too.
Oh,
Like,
me
I
too.
began to have a ton of fun with it. So it's just it's a shame. It's
It
a
really
shame. From Soft, you screwed the pooch
You
on
could
this
have
one.
been so much more.
You could have made this one the best one.
They've
But
never used mana rays in any other game, I don't think so.
I wonder why. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I agree. Boletaria is probably best. For me, it's a toss-up on how I'm feeling that day between Latria and the Burrow King.
Mhm.
Then probably Isle of Storms and Valley of Defilement. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. Can I tell you something that's wild really quick, though?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So,
Please.
so I have this really... It looks complicated, but it's not that complicated. But I have this system for... You know how I ranked all the bosses?
Yeah.
So the top 3 bosses in every category were awarded points. And so a third place in any category got you 1, second place got you 2, and first place got you 3 points.
Okay.
And so I tallied up the points that each area got,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just from the boss perspective. And it
Okay.
was really interesting. I didn't think it would work out this way. Boletaria has 16 points, which is a little unfair because they have an extra boss.
Yeah.
But without the extra boss, they would have, you know, between 10 and 16 points, essentially.
Okay.
The next place, then the area with the best bosses, according to my metrics, is the Valley of Defilement with 10 points. Which is really interesting because it's my least favorite
Very
area.
Interesting.
And then the Burrow King and the Isle of Storms are both tied with 5 points, and the Tower Queen has 2 points.
Wow.
So interesting. I was really blown
Very
away.
interesting.
I didn't expect it to settle out that way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
interesting.
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, do you think it's kind of weird that Blue Point had the opportunity to put in that sixth Archstone of the Giants, but didn't do it? I know it's lore-wise, the Archstone was destroyed because of what was there and like how horrible it was, so it had to be destroyed.
Yeah.
But it's like it would have been nice to, like, that would have been cool if they did that, so that we could see what Blue Point is capable of at a creative standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
so that maybe they could make a Demon Souls 2 at some point.
No, I agree with you, man. I think that would have been a great opportunity. Like, at the same time, I get why they didn't do it. Just because
Yeah.
people would have lost their minds.
They really would have.
Like,
But would they have lost their minds or been like, thank you, this is awesome, more Demon Souls?
I think it would depend person to person, man. Because some people are going to love whatever they make, and some people would hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I think they should have done it. Maybe they didn't want to offend FromSoft.
Yeah.
Because they had to get their permission to do Demon Souls.
If I was more passionate about this game, we would have done a remaking Demon Souls, but they already made a remake, so we can't do it.
Darn them.
Darn them. But yeah, I don't know, it was just a thought. Like, it would have been cool to see what horrible monstrosity was there. Like, what was so terrible that was going in the world.
Yorm the Giant.
Yorm the Giant. Apparently, I think VatiVidya did a video where someone broke into the code and was like in the northern realm or whatever, and it was just like snowy mountains.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
So it's like, man, that would have been kind of cool.
Kratos is there.
Kratos is there. Boy. Ostrava. That wasn't Kratos' voice. Sorry.
I thought it was very good.
Hey, Ostrava.
Hey, get over here.
Hey. But let's get into your certain criteria of ranking the bosses. These are almost like awards.
They are like little
For the-
awards.
Little awards for the bosses.
I
Little
love it.
feats. Little feats.
Who gets the award for most fun boss? I guess we'll start with the fun factor. Oh, wait, we have to say how many times we died for each boss really quick.
Do you know like the exact number of times you died?
I do, because I almost never died. So I'll just go through and tell you how many times I died for each boss, okay?
Oh, for each boss. I mean, the boss is okay.
Oh, not overall, but I just mean
Okay.
for bosses. So
okay.
I had 2 playthroughs. I died to Phalanx 0 times. I died to the Red Dragon once. I died to Tower Knight 0 times. I died to the Penetrator 0 times. I died to the Blue Dragon once. And I died to King Allant 0 times. For the second world, I died to the Armor Spider once. I died to Flame Lurker 5 times. It was a guesstimate, probably about 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
I died to the Dragon God 6 times at least. I hate that boss. I died to Fool's Idol twice, but it wasn't in my first playthrough. It was in my second,
Interesting.
because the game was much harder for my second playthrough. Being a strength build is way more difficult for me. I died to Maneater twice, again, in my second playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
I died to the Old Monk once when it was a real person. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I died to Vanguard Demon twice, once in the tutorial and once in the real game. I've never died to Adjudicator. I died to the Old Hero 1 time. I died to the Storm King 0 times. I died to Leechmonger 0 times. I died to Dirty Colossus 0 times, and I died to Maiden Estrada or Estraya 0 times.
Interesting. I can probably say that I've died once in every boss. Maybe not Leechmonger, and Fool's Idol. I never died. Phalanx, obviously. I mean, Phalanx is just too easy.
Too easy.
I probably got pretty close my first time playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I think I used up all my fire bombs.
Yeah.
So, before I even got to the boss.
Oh, I knew.
So
now
I
I
was
understood.
screwed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably have died. I know I've died the most with Maneater. Now King Allant because of his stupid soul suck thing. Dragon God for sure. And I probably died to Spider Demon at least 5 times.
I hate that boss.
But yeah, I mean, Maneater and King Allant now pretty much for sure.
Nice. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I had a lot of trouble with Maneater only because of I think it was the Black World tendency.
Oh yeah,
That screwed
and
me over.
there's just a lot of RNG in that fight. Like if you get knocked off, it's I don't think that's necessarily your fault.
Exactly.
I needed that affirmation. But tell me, Chris, who is your winner and your honorable mention for the award of funnest boss in Demon Souls?
Oh, are we starting with honorable mention and then go into the real one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll start because I have a top 3, so I'll do 3, 2, 1. But I know you have an honorable mention.
Okay. You want me to go?
Yeah, well, I can go with third, I guess. We'll go third, then your honorable mention, then my second, then your first, then my
And we
first.
still have the worst one for each category, right?
Yes. Do we want to start with that?
Sure.
All right. So my worst boss in regards to levels of fun was the Dragon God,
Okay.
because he's trash.
Yeah.
More like the trash god.
Trash God.
That's right.
Lots of trash.
Lots of trash everywhere.
Throw it around. Mine's Leechmonger.
Interesting. You think he was the least fun?
Yeah, he's so stupid.
That's interesting.
He's just a stagnant. You just walk up to him and you just press your button and swing at him.
I like it because it makes me feel like a man.
Doesn't make
Because
me
he
feel
dies
like
so
a man.
fast.
Makes me feel like I'm hitting a wall
Dang.
until it breaks.
Wow. You need to tell FromSoft.
Yeah.
What's your or I guess I have to tell you my third place now, huh?
Yeah.
My third place award for fun goes to the Storm King with a 56. He is in third
That's right,
place
you have
for funnest
numbers
boss.
for all these.
Yes, I do. I like Storm King. He's my third. I think he's super fun.
Okay. My honorable mention is Tower Knight.
Interesting.
I have lots of fun with Tower Knight.
Oh, I love Tower Knight.
Yeah. I love just his moveset is great. Like, just he switches it up. He's fun and he's great to look at because of how massive he is compared to you. So I like how big he is.
He's my number 2 as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's the number 2 spot with a ranking of, or with a power level, or with a fun level of 65. I love Tower Knight. He's my number 2.
Fun.
That's 65 points of it.
What's your? You want me to tell you my number 1?
Yeah, what's your number 1, man?
Armored Spider.
Shut up, dude. You're wrong. You're simply incorrect. But
incorrect. I had the most fun with him.
You're wrong. There's no way. You're a masochist if that's what you thought was fun. But that's okay. You can believe that. I'll let
Dude, my
you
second
be
playthrough
wrong.
with the spider was so much fun. Being a
I can't
strength build
fathom
and
it.
fighting him.
Oh gosh, it's disgusting. I made a bow just for the spider because I hated him.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is King Allant.
I knew you were going to say that.
King Allant is so fun to fight.
Yeah, he's pretty fun.
It's just it's the first time it feels like a real Souls boss.
The first time and the last time.
Yeah, it's very true. But it's a good time. I like King Allant. I think he's super fun to fight. So that's
He
that's
has some
my
like
top boy.
anime like jumping attacks where he like jumps in slow motion and swings at you.
Oh, it's so cool. And I love his like he has a lot of fighting where he puts distance between you, he closes it. You have to run up to him when he's doing his AoE, you have to get away from him for other attacks. So I think it's a very mobile fight and it makes it really, really fun. So
Yeah, I agree. I think being a faster character makes that fight a lot more fun.
I very much agree. But I think that's true for every fight in the game.
Yeah.
So,
Just being faster is more fun.
yeah,
Playing Bloodborne is more fun.
Bloodborne's a better game. But definitely, like, in general, like, spoiler alert, a dex build is way more fun to play than a strength build, at least for me.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
The strength. Oh, we have to talk about that. But tell me, Chris, or I guess I've got to tell you, my worst ranking boss for difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Should we guess for each other?
Sure.
What do you think mine is?
I mean, the worst difficulty one is the easiest one, right?
Yeah, the
The
easiest
Storm
boss.
King.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. Well, actually, no. I think that this is easier. I put Adjudicator.
Oh, interesting.
Because Adjudicator is so easy. Because you don't have, like, at least with Adjudicator, you don't have to worry about the other mana rays.
I guess, but like, his tongue can really whip you. Like, it can get really annoying if you're like a mage build, and you have to like lock on to the crow's head to like use magic, and like it'll just whip you. And if it whips you down into the down there,
His hole.
into his hole, you can kind of be screwed.
I could see that. I like my second playthrough with my bow, I literally never got hit by the tongue at all. So, but I think Adjudicator is really easy. So is your Storm King?
Yeah, I mean, come on, you just get the Storm Ruler and you kill him in 3 hits.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. You just hide behind a rock while he's shooting at you, and just easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Okay, what's your number 3?
My number 3 for difficulty is King Allant with a difficulty level of 56.
All right.
He's not. I don't think he's as hard as a lot of people say. He's like the hardest boss in the game. I don't think he's that bad.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty easy if you play it right.
Mm-hmm.
So, he was my 50. He was my third place award.
Okay.
What about you? What's your honorable mention?
Dragon God.
Yeah, yeah, he's horrible.
Like, it's not hard to fight him. It's just hard to even just play through that whole area of the game.
Hard to suffer.
It's like, yeah, it's hard to suffer through that. How slow it is, and how patient you have to be, and then if you screw up once, you're dead.
No, I agree. It's super annoying. I don't like that boss fight at all.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Maneater.
Interesting.
with a score of 58 difficulty points. I thought he was... This is the thing. He's not hard because he's hard. He's hard because the boss is bad. Like, they didn't program it correctly, right?
Yeah.
I think that if it doesn't work. Yeah, like, if he worked, I don't think it'd be that bad. So, I don't know. I don't think he's as hard as people say he is, because people act like he's, like, a legendary difficulty, right?
Yeah, for sure.
He's bad, though. He's definitely, like, one of the hardest bosses. I think he's the second hardest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, what is your number one? Is your number one Man-Eater?
No.
Oh.
This one might kind of be cheating, but it's Vanguard in the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Just because of how ridiculously hard that is. Like,
it's very
that's
hard.
a YouTube video. If you can defeat Vanguard and get through it, people make a YouTube video out of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's the one I've never defeated, technically.
This is true.
So how could he not be the hardest one? But that could be.
True.
That's kind of cheating, just because you start with nothing. It's like that's a base character fighting a boss.
Oh, well, some people beat the entire game like that, so...
Exactly. And so, yeah.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. I didn't think about that.
Thank you.
I said the Flame Lurker was the hardest boss.
Really?
He's the one I died to the most legitimately. It's his AoE. I just never got used to it. So I'd get hit behind him all the time and get stun locked.
He does have some attacks where he like just hits from behind somehow.
Yeah, right. But he's a good boss though. So it's a good difficulty. I thought he was quite difficult.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my hardest boss. With a score of 76, which may have been a little high.
Sounds a little too high.
I thought he was significantly harder than any other boss though.
Mm-hmm.
Because this game has easy bosses. That's the other thing. This game is not hard, like compared to Bloodborne. This game is an easy game. But
annoyingly easy.
Annoyingly easy. That's right. That was one of your good one words. But tell me, who has the worst visual design?
Leechmonger.
Interesting. Why do you hate Leechmonger so much?
Dude,
like
I don't
like Leechmonger.
He's just so boring. Like, hey, let's have just a pile of things attack you.
Dang.
You know, he's just a bunch of leeches. Like I said, he just looks like Sandman, but made out of leeches.
I agree.
Just boring, man.
Although I will remind you that was our idea for 3 mini bosses in Resident Evil 4. But
I don't care.
I understand, though. I get that. My worst one was the Old Monk, which is kind of cheating, but...
Yeah, I was thinking about that one, because, that is kind of... it's not really cheating, because it's legit just a person, but he has a giant golden robe wrapped around his head. You know, he has claws for hands, if he's the NPC. You know, and he has, like, these... He has this cool, like, soul arrow thing that goes around him and shoots you, and they're homing. I think he is honestly more aesthetically pleasing than the Leechmonger.
I like Leechmonger.
Has better design.
I don't
know.
Like,
who is this servant guy that Old Monk has? You know, he's more interesting. Like, why summon him? You know. Like, who is this guy? Is he like a follower or a disciple? Where is he from? You know.
Is he from Kansas?
I have all these questions for this man.
Where is he from? I understand. I don't like him though. I was a little bit lazy. I think it's a cool idea, but I was never a huge fan.
He's definitely the second worst for me.
Just because think about who else I would not like. Who else is visually not pleasing?
I mean,
Armor Spider's pretty high up there for me. Armor Spider is the next worst. I just hate everything about Armor Spider.
Apparently,
it's a freaking spider with a stinger. Can't handle it anymore.
He has a flamethrower. Or a stinger. How could you not love that?
It's dumb. I can't handle it. Well, is that going to be your best visual design? I'm curious. What's your honorable mention?
Honorable mention is Spider.
Whatever. I knew it.
Yeah, the visual design is second to none.
I'm curious about your first one, but I'll tell you my third and second really quick. Okay. My third place for visual design is Tower Knight.
Okay.
who's awesome. Super
He
up
is
there.
awesome.
He got a visual design score of 68. And then my second best visual design goes to Storm King with a visual design score of 72.
Okay.
Because he's awesome. Just like his
You're
entrance.
Metacritic.
That's right. I am
Like,
Metacritic.
what do these numbers even mean?
They mean a lot to me in my mind.
Oh,
And
God.
they are a
I'm happy for you,
manifestation of
Josh.
my feelings, Chris.
Oh.
So
I guess
Storm
that
King's
makes sense.
super cool. Tell me though, what's your first?
Vanguard.
Interesting. You
I
love those
love-
jiggly butt cheeks.
Dude.
I'm a
Hot
fan.
stuff. No, I love him. Like, he has those glowing orange eyes, and he's like, you can see his breath, floating in the air. It's cold and
It's so cold.
but just like entering that boss fight, he is so visually striking, and just like you feel so weak coming up to him. He looks like he's gonna eat you. Like,
He
I can't
does.
say that about any other boss. He's gonna eat you if he kills you.
I understand.
And like, I love his wings. Like, his wings, I don't know if you ever like have seen behind him, like
yeah.
up that high, like with the camera mode or something. But his wings are like a mouth. They're gaping and they have teeth.
What? I did not
They're
know.
crazy, and I love just like how he's chained up there, and he's great. I mean, he's a perfect first impression.
I thought he had like pathetic little wings.
I mean, they are pathetic little wings, but they're like spiky and have teeth.
I'm glad we have people like you that delve into photo mode to find out
That's right.
facts about his backside. We both know what you were looking for.
I figured some other things out too about his friends.
Oh no, band guy.
He has a belly button.
Does he really?
I don't think so. Actually, I wasn't looking.
Puts people's heads in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting choice though.
What's your number one though?
Maiden Estraya. And
I like it.
when I
like
say
it.
Maiden Estraya, I mean like her and Garl Vinland together.
Yeah, together for sure.
Like the contrast, and his armor's so cool, and I love the way that they designed her to look, and look so harmless and stuff.
Dude, Garl's helmet is the best helmet.
Ooh,
It's reflections.
easy.
It's so smooth. It's like a mirror.
It's the best. You want to know what the visual
best, Jerry.
design
It's the
score
best.
was?
The which one?
Their visual design score? I know you're on the edge of your seat.
82, it has to be-
78. 78, Chris.
78.
They
Is that
barely
the
eked
highest
it
can
out.
be?
No.
Oh.
No one ever got above no one ever got more than like 82 for anything.
Oh, okay.
Because no one was perfect, Chris.
That makes sense.
But yeah, 78. They were great. I loved their design. Now, on to the other design, the fight design. What it was like to fight them, so on and so forth. Didn't describe that very well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tell me I guess I gotta tell you first. The worst design for a fight goes to Armor Spider.
Oh my gosh.
I hate Armor Spider, dude. I hate the design of this fight. What am I playing? Freaking Galaga? I hate this. I'm like going
Dude,
up
that's
and
the best
dodging.
part.
It's stupid. It's a stupid fight. If you try to fight it with your sword, it just sits on you. If you stay back, it just shoots you, and you can't take a moment to shoot it. I hate this boss fight.
Get good.
Get good? Get good, Chris? There is no getting good at this fight. The only thing you can do to get good is stand behind the pillar and shoot arrows.
No, I got good. I got
Whatever.
real good.
You let that spider sit on you.
No, never.
Not once.
Not once.
I've never let a spider sit on me.
My least
Nice.
favorite was Old Monk. Just because
I
it's just
understand.
PvP. It's just so stupid,
I hate PvP in these games.
honestly.
I don't want to be reminded that I'm bad.
Dude, I had so many problems in Latria with PvP. Like, people just invading me for no reason.
I know.
Got to the point where it's like the same guy tried invading me over and over again. So you know where the Archstone is right after Fool's Idol?
Yeah.
So they would spawn in right in front of it. So I just wait for him to spawn and just hit him off the bridge. It's the best way to get character tendency to pure white.
Oh, I didn't know. That's nice.
Yeah.
He's got to
Great.
make sure you don't die.
No, I never died when I got behind him. Like, he killed me
No,
over and
I
over
was
again
bad.
as I was trying to get to the boss, to
Mhm.
Maneater. So then I just started waiting for him.
Get good, guy.
Get good.
I like that. That's a feel-good story. We should have a feel-good story at some point in every episode.
Yeah, we should.
And that's the perfect feel-good story.
Yeah. Getting revenge.
Getting revenge and having people plummet to their deaths. Nothing
What's your
sweeter
number
than
3?
revenge. My
number
number
2?
3, my number 3 was, I think, Dirty Colossus. Because I loved...
He does have a great
Yeah.
fight design.
the way he controls the flow of battle. I just thought Dirty Colossus was
He
great.
would be my number 3 if I wrote down 3.
I like that.
Yeah.
He had a score of 59.
It's a great score.
It is a good score for him.
It's a
What's
C.
your honorable mention? It is a C. He deserves a C.
Armored Spider.
Oh, he deserves an F.
F for fun.
Oh no. F for fire flamethrower. But yes.
That's right. I love him. I love fighting him. I think he has great design. I love how if you get close, he uses his little things, and he has like blades for teeth, and he swings at you, and he tries sitting on you, and if you're far away, he tries to shoot you with webs, so then that you're stunned, and then he'll shoot you with fire. And oh my gosh, I just love him spitting or her spitting oil on the ground. You have to run all the way to the back, and like just lights up the whole tunnel with flames. It's so cool.
I believe you. I think that it is a better boss than I give it credit. I just never wanted to deal with it, so I never did. But it is nice to hear that you
It
liked
didn't
so
take
much.
me to realize this until the playthrough for this podcast. I used to hate the spider.
Interesting.
Being as a mage, I hated the spider as a mage.
Interesting.
And
so you
and
felt
an
like
archer.
you needed
So
the strength.
I used a bow the first time and hated it. But fighting it with a big old sword and shield and slow rolling, I loved it.
That's interesting. I couldn't stand slow rolling, so I'm happy you did it.
Yeah. For the first time ever, I was chugging.
Jug, jug, jug. Bonking away.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my second place. My second place belongs to Maiden Astraea with a score of 67. I thought it was just a really cool idea as a boss fight.
Yeah.
I think it's a
It
little
is
too
a great
easy though.
boss.
You shouldn't be
it's-
able to cheese it as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the idea that there's this really strong minion that you have to deal with, but he's not the real boss. And I thought it was a very cool fight design.
Well, I like how you can choose who to kill first.
Yeah,
So like you choose your boss, kind of.
which is really cool. And just
Yeah,
the whole
it is cool.
arena, just everything going into it is so awesome. So I love
It would
I
be
love that
cool
boss battle.
if you killed Maiden Astraea first, it brought your character tendency down.
Ooh, I
So,
like
like,
that.
If it because there's no effect if you attack her guard or just kill her. Because like when we played it, we ran up to her and just started swinging at her, and like there's no repercussions for that. You know, it would have been kind of cool if they did that. But
I agree. I would have liked that. But
it's a
alas,
morale
no.
system. But yeah,
But tell me, Chris, who's your favorite in regards to fight design?
False Idol or Fool's Idol.
Interesting. I like it.
I like her a lot, man. She's awesome. I love just walking into the cathedral, having her, not servants, but her flock.
Worshippers, yeah.
Yeah, worshiping her, and how she lets you get really close to her and lets you attack first, kind of. And then she's like, okay, here's what I'll do. Spawn 10 of her.
Yeah.
Spawn these landmines everywhere that you see for a split second, and then they go away. And, it's a game of go fish, kind of. So,
No, I love it. I think you're right. Great boss.
Yeah.
Great choice.
thank you. Who's your number one?
Oh, yeah, my number one. I forgot. My number one for fight design is King Allant. He eked
He
it
is
out.
great.
He had a score of 68.
I like
One
it.
more than Maiden Astraea. I just love his moveset. I love how he keeps you moving. You know,
Yeah.
he's just so good, so fun to fight. I love he pushes you away, he brings you in, you got to dodge to the right. Oh, he's so great. So
He is great.
he's cool. Bad visual design though. He did not rank very high visually.
Yeah, no.
But now onto the most important factor
What would you
of all.
change? Sorry.
Oh,
what
about
would you
his
change about
design.
him? Yeah, what would you do?
Dude, I don't know.
Because I think I like it because he's almost like a Christ-like figure, glowing white,
I think I
and
would
he's
give
supposed to
him-
be like this savior of Boletaria, but he's not because he's the false king.
I like that. I like that idea. I think I would just give him more like a crown.
Maybe I wouldn't give him a face. Like just let him wear a helmet over his face.
Something like that. I don't know.
Maybe so you couldn't see if he's the real king a lot or not.
That'd be interesting.
But
It'd be interesting if I don't know. I don't know what I'd change. Like I don't hate his design. I just don't like it. Does that make sense?
It's just silly.
It's just generic, generic and silly. I also
just
don't like
like-
the way Soulbrand looks. I think Soulbrand looks stupid. Along
Yeah, it
with
looks like a Soul
Demonbrand.
Calibur sword.
Stupid looking. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
I
agree.
don't know.
Sorry.
But you're okay. But what's your X factor?
My
Who's the
my
worst
bad
for your
one
X
is
factor?
Leechmonger. He has no X factor.
You hate Leechmonger.
Dude, he's the worst. He's so stupid. Why is he in the game? You couldn't think of anything better? Anything at all?
Nothing at all, man. Nothing at all.
Dude, you
Well,
could
I'll-
have threw a bunch of shields on him like Phalanx and made it more interesting.
I feel so bad for the poor man who designed Leechmonger and loves him.
They didn't design him. They didn't. No one had to design him.
Someone
They just made a pile of leeches.
a pile of leeches. Well, dang. I
You
understand.
might as well
that,
fight
though.
a slime in Dragon Quest.
Dang. Might be a slime.
That has more character and design than Leechmonger.
Wow. I'm very impressed by the avarice that you hold towards the Leechmonger. You want to know what mine is?
Sure. Is it Spider?
It's Armor Spider. I hate Armor Spider. I hate the arena. I hate walking up to it. I hate the way it looks. I think its legs look dumb. I think its face looks dumb. I think its stupid butt looks stupid. Stupid. I hate the spider. Anyway, so yeah, that's my.
Right.
It has 13 points, Chris. That's all it deserved.
Jeez.
13 X Factor points.
I'm in the wrong podcast.
Apparently, man. Get out. Now,
Okay.
let me tell you my third place, because it's a tie.
Okay. Oh, your third and second is a tie? Or is it is it a tie with the bad one?
Third place is just a tie with another one for third place because they have the same point
Oh, okay.
value.
Sounds good.
They are Penetrator and King Allant.
Okay. X Factor.
Penetrator because of how he kills like the fat man.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Real atmosphere builder. And then King Allant because it's the
Yeah.
last battle. It's just like very climactic and the music swelling in the elevator ride. So
Yeah.
those are my two for third place. What's your honorable mention?
Made in Australia.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. I think we've talked about the X Factor so much. Just really cool. And kind of gives the player choice. And just the whole lore about her being a missionary and then like renouncing her religion to become an archdemon to lull these people into death pretty much.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
It's so good. It's very cool. Like I could have had a whole game about that.
Honestly, though, right?
You know.
It's funny that she's in the worst area, too. But she
Yeah.
also wouldn't work if she wasn't in the worst area.
Yeah. Like she'd be super boring in Boletaria.
Mhm.
Generic. You know. But yeah.
She's
the
great.
juxtaposition between the two is awesome.
I agree, man.
And
I
then
agree.
obviously Garl is just amazing. He
Oh, he's so cool.
silent, almost silent bodyguard.
He reminds me
like-
of a pure version of Pyramid Head.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
He's
But
awesome.
who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Storm King.
Ooh.
I just love the atmosphere. His entrance with the little manta rays on his back and the swarm in the air and the lightning and the rain. Oh my gosh.
No,
I love
great.
it has the X factor. Okay? It's awesome.
It's the rain, man.
It's the rain in the sky and the lightning in your eyes. It's the Storm King
The big manta ray.
in the sky. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
A little sneak peek, perhaps. Who knows?
My number one's Vanguard.
You love Vanguard.
Dude, I can't stress it enough. He's just the best first impression.
He's great. He's a great boss. I like that, man. That's a good choice.
And
I
it's
wish
a
I'd
great
actually
arena,
fought
too.
Vanguard enough to remember.
It's a great arena too. I mean, it looks. Honestly, the tutorial is the most beautiful part of the game for me,
I think so too. It's gorgeous.
and it's amazing. He wants to eat you. That's all I gotta say. He wants to eat you.
He wants to eat you with
He's
his
gonna
mouth.
eat you.
He wants to eat you with his wings. He wants to
Yep.
eat you with his belly button, apparently.
Yep.
I like it. You want to know what my top one
He's
is?
gonna fly and sit down with those big old butt cheeks.
Oh, no. Don't get lost in bed.
Yes. What's your number one?
My number one is Maiden Estraya. It's
She's
just
just
so
cleaning house.
She is cleaning house. She's so good. She's fantastic. Just again that cinematic, man, and then everyone worshiping her and praying to her, and Garl slowly walking up to you, and the plague babies, and just the blood. So much blood.
Yeah, so much blood.
So good. Blood.
So much
Fantastic.
blood you can't even roll in it.
That's right. And
So
you do
thick.
by accident.
So coagulated.
You get plague literally just by touching it with your toes.
It's awesome.
Disgusting.
You're right.
But amazing. So
I love how like she's in like the deepest part of defilement. Like even like when you get to the bottom area, she's just like 3 steps lower.
yeah, I know.
Like she is as far as she can go.
And she's sitting.
And she's like,
gosh,
yeah, she's
so right,
surrounded
man.
by dead bodies, and it's so good.
Thank you, Maiden Estraya. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
But man, now we're in our big thing, man. Like
We're
this is it.
kind
This
of
is
in
the big
thing,
rank.
yeah. This is like the big thing before our fast ones.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna just rank all the bosses, and how we're gonna do it is we have them numbered from 1 to 17. I don't know Josh's order. He doesn't know mine. But we're just gonna start, and we're gonna add up all the numbers, and whichever one has the lowest number is the best boss
Yes, sir.
collectively. So do you want to just go back and forth with starting from 17, or you want me to just name them off and see where they place in your heart?
I would love to start from 17.
Okay.
Do we figure out what I'm missing?
Oh, you should have 17.
I do, but I'm including the blue and red dragons.
What?
I don't know what I'm missing.
Vanguard? Did you
Yes.
include Vanguard?
Yes. But only once. What am I missing? Oh, you know what? I know one of them I'm missing. Give me a second here to look over my results. Oh, no, I've got it. It's
Okay,
because
good.
I have 2 that tied.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible that they tied.
That is incredible and against the rules.
It's not my fault. It's the algorithm, Chris.
What algorithm?
My algorithm. I didn't mean for this to happen. Somehow they tied.
All right. See how that works.
It wasn't my choice.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
just how
That's fine.
it's how the cookie crumbled, Chris.
I guess so.
All right, tell me your lowest.
Okay.
All right, I've got enough of a handle to say what the order is.
That's crazy. We have 3 things all tied.
I know.
Okay, so I think I got enough of a handle to go from worst to best.
I agree.
Okay, so thank goodness, Leechmonger is 33, with the lowest score.
Oh,
Or the highest
Disgusting.
score, meaning it's the worst.
The worst boss in the game is Leechmonger.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Yes, we agreed on that one.
And just trailing just a couple points ahead is Old Monk.
Barely winning.
Barely. Just barely.
It deserved it.
Then we go to Dragon God.
Another
Equally
trash
hated.
boss. A horrible
Yeah.
boss.
Still
And then we have
5
a
points
tie,
ahead of
right?
Leechmonger. And then, no, let's see.
Oh, no. Yeah, we do.
No, we have a Adjudicator at 24 points.
And Phalanx at 24.
Phalanx. Oh, you're right.
Another tie.
Another tie. So we have Phalanx and Adjudicator at 24.
Disc. Bad.
And then just 1 point better is our good friend Maneater.
Oh, our good friend, yes.
Our great friend. And then we have 2 points ahead. Old Hero at 21.
Ew.
Pretty good.
Disgusting.
Pretty good spot, I guess. I
I
think
feel
it's
like he should have been
right
lower.
where he needs to be. Oh,
But
lower
you know,
even.
actually, I like Phalanx more. You know what I mean? Even if it's not actually a better
Yeah.
boss, I just like Phalanx more.
Yeah. I agree with that. I like that. But then we get
Darn you, old hero.
to 18 with my spider.
Yeah, right in the middle where it belongs.
So that's great.
That's so wild that my lowest one is your highest one.
Yeah, that's so funny. Wow.
That's crazy.
And then just 1 point ahead of that is Fool's Idol. That's 17.
Great boss. I could have ranked it
Great
higher.
boss.
I
You
really
should've.
like Fool's Idol.
But you're a fool.
Apparently, I'm the idol of the fool.
That's right. And then we have a tie at 16 points. Dirty Colossus and Penetrator.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Both great
interesting.
bosses. I think they both deserve their spot.
You wanna hear
as, like,
something
number
kinda funny?
6. Tell me.
I had Dirty Colossus and Penetrator swapped right before we started listing them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, that would have changed everything, Chris.
Oh, absolutely.
Look what you did.
But then after 16, we go to 14 with Failing. Oh, wait, no, we already did. I'm
What are you
stupid.
doing?
We go to 12, right?
Yes.
With Storm King. One of our
And-
neck and neck, 6 and 6.
And Maiden Estraya is 12 as well.
Oh, you're right. Try is 12.
So many ties.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
It's interesting
It's
because
a
I think
word
that Maiden
we'll
Estraya
never
is a
stop
little
using,
better.
by the way.
Interesting.
Interesting.
But they're both great bosses.
And then we got 11 with Vanguard Demon.
Yeah, I kind of dragged that one down. I'm sorry.
And it's okay. All is forgiven for now.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
11. Dude, is it just 11 and then the 3-way tie?
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's a 3-way tie, is it?
It is.
It is?
They're all 6.
No, King Alon's 8, right?
Oh, he's right. I just can't do math. No, I had all these numbers like not lining up with the names.
That's okay.
It's fine. I'm having a seizure,
forgive
that's
you.
all.
I'm just having a stroke over here.
But yeah, King Alon, number
Sadly,
8
he does not tie, though.
with 8 points.
Great boss.
Or number 2, I mean, with 8 points.
And number 1.
And then the tie with Tower Knight and Flame Lurker,
Interesting, huh?
which is very interesting.
We both ranked them very high, though, which is an interesting tell.
Interesting.
I like Tower Knight more. Tower Knight would be my choice for top
Yeah, Tower
boss.
Knight's my number 3.
Apparently, no one gets to be fully happy, Chris. We just both have to settle for our bronze.
That's
Because
so
Flame
weird.
Lurker should not be the winner. I don't think.
No, it should be Tower Knight.
All right, there we go. That's the official ruling of the Futon Talks podcast, is that Tower Knight is the best boss.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we settled that.
Glad we
There
settled
goes
that
all my
lifelong
notes.
dispute.
So now we're on the fast ones.
Oh, yeah.
So
You want me to shoot my
I don't have
fast
any.
ones? Oh, you don't have any?
Shoot them. No, this is all you, baby.
Oh, here we go. My time in the spotlight.
Shoot them as fast as Armored Spider shoots me with her webs.
Wonderful. I don't like that image, but I'm going to do it. Tell me, Chris. Strength or dex?
Dex.
Thank you. That is correct. The podcast is over. I'm just kidding. No, dex all the way. My strength playthrough was so much easier than so much harder than my dex playthrough.
I will say this, though. There is no greater feeling than using the Bone Smasher and launching people 10 feet into the sky. That's how strong that weapon is when you're a strength build.
Like, this is the thing. Once you have the build finished, it's a lot of fun to use. But getting to the point where you can use it is super annoying and like hard to deal with. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
Like, if you're not one-shotting everyone, it's not fun.
If you're not one-shotting people, then you got nothing.
Then you have nothing in life. You're pretty much leechmonger.
You are but dust on Vanguard's boot. He doesn't wear boots, by the way. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you quote.
You're the fragile snowflakes that the Penetrator stomps on. That Tower Knight towers over.
That's wonderful. You're nothing, is what we're trying to say. Speaking of nothing.
Yeah.
Faith or magic?
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to go with magic. Because there's just, at least in this game, maybe in all Souls game, but in this game especially, like the magic, once you get to a really high magic, you're basically playing Harry Potter, right? You have crazy spells. And then like the highest miracle is really bringing yourself back to life if you die.
Which is dope.
Or warping back to the Nexus, you know.
Uh-huh.
Which is,
I agree with you.
Really useful. My first character had that miracle and it was awesome. But, I mean, would I rather use that? Or would I rather shoot lava out of the ground and throw saucers of flames at people? You know?
Or suck the soul level out of people.
Or, suck the soul out of people.
It's my dream.
The answer is clear.
I agree, man. For an answer that may not be as clear, bonk or slice?
Oh. In this game, slice.
Interesting. But in other Souls games,
I love a good bonk, but...
I agree with you, though. I'm a slice guy. Bonk is hilarious, though.
Bonk is hilarious.
Now, this is a specific question. Kill everybody in the Nexus for an achievement, or be a good person?
Be a good person because nobody cares about achievements. It's all about trophies.
Oh, here we go. That was very clever of you, Satan.
That's right.
I like that.
But kill everyone for a trophy.
I would kill everyone for a trophy. I mean, I'd kill my family for a platinum.
Oh my gosh.
Grind for stone or fight squid wizards?
Grind for stone.
That is exactly how dejected you should have sounded when you decided to grind for stone. Tell me, Chris. Continue getting soul sucked by King Allant, or just go to bed?
Just go to bed.
It's horrible. 5 times in a row. You hear that, Blue Point? 5 times in a row. I got another good one for you, though.
What you got?
Crush the Maiden in Black's head like an old eggshell, or retain your humanity?
crash your head. Because it makes me laugh.
The way
every
it sounds
time.
when you do it is ridiculous.
It's so fast.
It's like, oh my gosh. I'm glad that
So
that's
good.
what you chose. That is the correct
Yeah.
answer. Now, tell me, Chris.
Mhm.
Which archstone would you live in? If you had to live in one of the archstones, which one would you live in?
Storm, obviously.
Obviously. The one with the terrifying somersaulting skeletons.
I mean,
Could you
it's either
imagine being
that or
somersaulted to
Boletaria, where
death?
there's dragons flying everywhere and these crazy fat guys who's like ready to rape me or something. And
This is very true. Very true.
like, they're terrifying and they're laughing the whole time. That is 10 times more terrifying than flying manta rays and skeletons.
That is true. That is true. I mean, the survivability isn't good in either situation, so I agree with you.
No. I mean, I guess you could go to Stonefang because some of like the burrowers are so lethargic and they don't even care that you're around. But that's so hot. I need to be somewhere where it's wet and cold.
I'd rather be murdered by a skeleton than have it be kind of hot.
I mean, I guess I could go
I
into the
understand,
cave, but then there's bear bugs that will explode
Oh, you're
and
right.
giant spiders
Oh, gosh. Yeah, the worst
and
boss
death
in the game.
worms and the
Death
worst
worm.
boss in the game.
I'm with
Third
you, man.
worst.
I think I might... I don't know. Like, I might go to Stonefang. I might just go to... No, you're right. I feel like Isle of Storms, at least you'll die in somewhere cool. Like, you're not going to live if you go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Isle of Storms all the way. We can move there next spring.
Cool. Perfect.
Thank you. Now, speaking of archstones and the different enemies, which enemy do you find most annoying? Which enemy was the one you hated the most?
Besides the Cthulhu guys?
Hmm?
Besides the Squid Boys?
I guess besides the Squid Boys, because they're the obvious answer.
Yeah. Most annoying. I mean, those knights in Boletaria after Tower Knight. Terrible.
The worst. The red spear ones. Oh my gosh, I hate those guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, but there's another one that was in my mind, but now I'm forgetting it. Because I hate the red spears. It's gone.
I mean,
it's like
any of the Alfs or Wattos in Defilement are just annoying. Or the plague rats.
oh, the plague
They're
rats,
just
yeah.
a nuisance, you know?
Oh, you know what one I hate the most is the giant Watto.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I hate those guys.
Me too.
They like
Their stupid
launch you
tongues hanging out.
into the stuff so you can't, move. Oh my gosh, I hate them.
Yeah.
Or the Tower Knight guy, the guy with the Tower Knight shield, the Red Phantom.
Yeah.
He
He's kind of
bothered me
annoying.
so much. But again, he's a guy with a spear. Anyone with a spear is really annoying in this game.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
However, I've got another question for you.
Okay.
This is kind of a medium one. What was the biggest change for you in your second playthrough? Because I know that depending on how you play and what you do, a lot of times an enemy that was, or not an enemy, or yeah, an enemy, but like an area that was really difficult the first time will be crazy easy, or a boss will be really hard that was really easy, so on and so forth. So what was the biggest change you noticed in your second strength playthrough?
I don't know. I felt like I wasn't given the opportunity or ability to hide from anything. So I had to be like head to head up front with everything and almost like an honest way of playing the game. And it felt really good.
Oh yeah, because of your spider like revelation.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It sucked slow rolling or fat rolling due to like during the King Allant fight. But I'll give you something else. Something that really changed personally in my heart and the way I played this game for the second time was using the photo mode. I never even bothered using the photo mode the first 2 times I played this game, but when I played for the podcast, I made it an objective or a goal to take. I mean, I'm not going to just try to take pictures just to take pictures, but I wanted to really capture cool things that I thought were neat, or at least take a picture of every boss. And I probably took 100 pictures.
I know.
Playing through this game, and I sent them all to you.
Yes, you did.
And Twitter.
And they were awesome.
I mean, I'm just going to now make it a goal when I play a game now for this podcast to use the photo mode more often, because we just did Control before this game, and I started messing with the photo mode in that too, and it was awesome.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So
no, I'm glad. I love that. I want to make that a goal of mine too. You're such a good example to me. So,
that's right.
So I want to emulate you, Chris. That was very good.
Thank you. What about you, man?
Oh, it's like everything was really hard and then really easy. But like specifically like the Fool's Idol, which was a really easy boss fight, just killed me like 3 times, and there were just a lot of times where I got very frustrated, but only for like the first half of the game. And then it was like crazy easy. So I don't know. It was an interesting experience where I felt frustrated. I guess I just thought it was harder, which is interesting because I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be easier. And I actually cheesed probably a little more in my second playthrough than I did in my first.
Oh, interesting.
So I thought that was interesting, just because I had a bow. And I was like, oh, I don't need to deal with this. But I like that you became a man. I shouldn't have relapsed into my my babiness. I'm going to be a man next time when we play Dark Souls. So.
Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad you're going to be a man. I'm not going to be a man. I'm probably going to use my old character.
Yeah.
At least I'm going to try to. If I can like somehow find him on my PS4 save data and use it on the PS5.
That'll be fun, man. And we got to ask everybody. Like, everybody should tweet at us or whatever, send us messages, whatever platform you're on, to tell us if you want to see like Dark Souls next, or like another Christopher Nolan thing next, or there's just so many series that we're working on right now. So we'll have to do it, I guess, according to what everyone requests. But
yeah,
otherwise we're just going to power through, because I'm feeling the souls.
Yeah, good.
Yes. But tell me, Chris, which boss would you try to kill? As in, which boss do you feel you would most likely survive a fight with? You have the items and weapons of your character, but you don't necessarily have the skill of your character. Meaning you probably can't pick up the Dragon Bone sword or whatever,
Probably Old Monk. I think it's an easy answer, though. Either Old Monk or... Maiden Estrella.
Interesting.
Or
You
Phalanx.
want to know who I would kill? Or Phalanx. Could you imagine trying to fight Phalanx?
Yeah, I feel like I just have to swim through all that slime and get to the middle.
Like, how do you even hit it? Like, what do you...
I don't know.
Just like this mass of goo.
Just climb on all the shields and put a firebomb in there.
Dang. I like it, Chris. That's very brave of you.
Thank you.
I would kill the Fool's Idol, because I can definitely overpower an old man, and I'm pretty sure I can punch a woman to death. So she doesn't fight back. I think I could get up in her face and I have a dagger. I could shank her. But I could take Fool's Idol.
See that? I could see that.
But your other answer is good as well.
Thank you.
I like it. But tell me, Chris, what stuff from this game grew up to be better in later Soulsborne games? Meaning, like, ideas that were had here, which of those ideas like grew into fruition and like really came into its own in a later game that you can think of? And I can start if you want time to think.
The healing system.
Yes.
The Estus flask is such an improvement over finding grass.
fun in that
Not to say it
grass.
wasn't hard to find grass, but the fact that I had to switch between like 6 different grasses and not even use like 2 of them every time I was getting them, like the green grass was just terrible at some point, like not even useful. You might as well just throw it away. And the half moon grass was okay for a while, but then I stopped using that, and it got to the point where I was only ever using late or full. So I think the healing mechanics is far better.
See, I think that's interesting because I prefer the blood vials to Estus, but I know you like Estus, so it's gonna be interesting to play Dark
blood
Souls.
vials too. Just it's one thing. It's not a ton of different healing items.
No, and I agree. I think that's an improvement because blood vials always heal a third of your health, I believe. Whereas, in that it doesn't matter how much vitality you have. You know, like a third of your health can be 30 points. It can be 150 points. You know, but it's always a third. Whereas the grass doing arbitrary amounts and like set amounts, I don't think it's a good choice. I agree with you. So I like that improvement.
Sure. Me too.
One improvement that I thought was really cool, and I don't know if they do this in Dark Souls. I don't think they do, but I really love the insight system in Bloodborne, and I think it's really similar to the system of world tendency. You know, like your actions in game affect the way your character sees the world, and like the world changes according to, you know, what you see. Anyways, I thought that was so cool, and I love the way what it turned into because I love insight, and I think it's so cool the way it plays into the narrative of the game, and I think that's the big change they made. Right, the world tendency is something that's just there. They don't really explain it.
So funny thing is, in Demon Souls, the souls and magic are knowledge. The souls are knowledge, and so like the people who have lots of souls or the people who have magic have the most knowledge, and it lets them see the world for what it really is, which is the same as the madman's knowledge.
Yeah.
In a way, but except for in the madman's knowledge, it gets worse.
Yeah.
You see the world for what it really is, but it gets harder and scarier. And like it'll kill you at some point. The more you know.
I love it.
It's very interesting. It's almost a reflection of itself, just like reverse image.
Yeah, it's like the inverse. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, me too.
And then another thing that's not a big deal, but that's like a little thing that I'm really grateful for is that they changed the way weapon upgrades work.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one thing. I hated trying to find the specific stone. I thought it was so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, there's cool bits to it, but I love Bloodborne's system of just blood shards and then the gems, which can alter your weapon's performance too. I thought that was really good. But anyways, those are my things that I saw that I thought were really cool the way they kind of matured through the other games.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice. But, and along with that, kind of an extension of that question, is with that in mind, what sets this game apart? And like, why is this game important? Demon Souls as opposed to Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro and all those.
I think they're all important. Like, I think the important ones are Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and I think that's probably it. I think after Bloodborne, they're all like extensions of Bloodborne, or variations of Bloodborne. With Demon Souls, it's important because it's the foundation, kind of. You know, I mean, the From Software worked on Armored Core before these games, I believe. Which is kind of funny, like these big mech brawler games. Yeah. But this game is important because, like you said, it's experimental. They were trying new things out. Every boss was different. And they made a point to make them different. You play Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Sekiro, a lot of them are the same. A lot of them you use the same tactics. Like, I remember on Bloodborne, just strafe to the right or the left. That
Yep.
was my
Get that
tactic.
booty.
You know, that's legit all I did, and I got the platinum. You know, with this game, you know, there's the cat and mouse with Dragon God. There was the, you know, trying to discern which fool's idol was the real one.
The destruction of the Phalanx's shield, you know. Yeah.
Or just
I
like
agree.
even
There's so much.
the armored spider, it's a stagnant boss, but you have to make your way back to it every time it attacks. Which is just funny. And I mean, so I think it's important because it experiments, and I mean, come on, it's the first Souls game. How could it not be important? Without this, we wouldn't have Dark Souls.
I very much agree, my friend. I agree. I think that was a perfect answer. Look at you.
Thank you. A+++.
S rank, my friend. Even better.
Whoa.
I've got one last talking point, one very small one, and it is this. They briefly considered adding an easy mode. What do you think?
No.
Thank you.
Disgusting. Disgusting. The game's already easy.
I agree. I think it's far easier than the other Souls games I've played. They're harder.
Oh, yeah. The only hard part about this game is the run-ups to the bosses, because there's so few archstones.
Which is admittedly very annoying, but
Yeah.
no, I agree.
By the way, sorry to cut you off there.
You're good.
Know what's funny?
Tell me.
What's the only other Soulsborne game that uses archstones?
I don't know.
Bloodborne.
They use archstones?
Remember, you go to the
You're
Hunter's
right.
Dream and you go to the stones to travel.
Yeah, you're
Each
right.
stone
I
is
didn't
a
even
different
think about
area.
that. Oh.
How interesting, huh?
I feel like Bloodborne is the one that's most heavily inspired by this game, which is kind of weird to say.
Yeah.
But there's just
funny
tons of
enough,
similarities.
they're both the only ones that are PlayStation exclusive.
Oh my gosh. There's a conspiracy that we don't understand.
Honestly, man. Maybe they just got like, we're like, oh, they want to try to make us make another game for them. We're just going to make the same game.
Just dressed up in fancy Victorian clothing.
But yeah, there's so many similarities. It's funny.
That is wild. I didn't even think about that, dude.
Yeah, me neither. Till just now.
Till this moment. But that's my last question, man. That was my last fast one, and you were
That's
amazing.
your last fast
You
one?
were so quick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I guess I'll close us off, huh?
Yeah, sounds good, my
It's been
friend.
a lengthy episode for
Yeah.
a game that definitely deserves it.
Yes, it does.
So hopefully we'll speak again on the Soulsborne games with maybe Dark Souls 1. I think that would be the next good place to go. So,
I would love it.
you know,
I very much agree.
and I love talking about this game. I'm so happy that you wanted to do this episode and start this series, because it got me to appreciate the game. It let me find a new appreciation for this game.
Me too, man. I'm glad you encouraged me to embrace my manhood and defeat a real Souls game.
Yeah. And now you only have like 7 more to go.
There we go. Only 7 more. Easy.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing and following and commenting and whatever we allow you to do. Thank you for just listening, honestly. Just thank you for being you.
We're very grateful. We love you guys.
Yeah. We love you, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Nice. What end up being?
Great episode. Hello.
Hello. Did your internet just fall apart or something?
Yeah, apparently.
It's gonna be really fun to edit. Alright.
Pretty easy.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. Let me finish the sandwich real quick.
Okay.
Oh, do this. Sourdough, mayo, mustard, turkey, and cheese. What more do you need?
Nothing. Nothing else.
It's perfect.
Perfect
I eat this at
sandwich.
work every night now. It's amazing.
Really? I'm so happy. I'm glad you've started to eat real food. Instead of crushed up Cheetos on freaking canned chicken. I'm very proud of you. Your palate has, started a new life.
I'm just going back to my roots here, okay?
This is true. You've always been a sourdough man.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those grilled cheese we'd make with tomato on them? Freaking amazing.
I still make them.
What good times those were.
Still amazing.
Still.
Let's see. Sourdough peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Oh, they're so good.
So good. Especially when you toast it a little bit.
Tasty.
Mm.
The only thing I would change is chips. I love chips on a sandwich.
Well, me too, but I don't have chips right now.
Understandable. You didn't go and make yourself some? Come on. You're ridiculous. Such a baby.
Make some tortilla chips. In case, put some
Oh
tortillas.
my gosh. Have you
on
ever been
a
to
pan.
Taco Time?
What is that? It sounds like a fake thing.
It's like the whitest, most American taco place. It's even more than Taco Bell.
Wow.
Everything's fried. It's awesome. So the thing is, they have this thing called like cinnamon crisps or something, and they take like the cutoffs of tortilla because they make their own tortillas or whatever, and all the cutoffs they like deep fry them and cover them with like sugar and cinnamon, and they're the greatest things ever. They taste so good.
Sounds amazing.
They like melt in your mouth. They're so cinnamony. You buy an order and they're like gigantic, like a huge bag full. It's very bad for us. We go there sometimes. But you should go to Taco Time. You should move to a new state so you can go to Taco Time. How do you feel the episode's going?
It's awesome.
I'm glad. I like it.
I think it's been a great episode.
Good. It's like I hope I haven't been making it too awkward with my weird rating system.
That's funny.
Good. And I think there's probably, max 30 minutes left?
Yeah.
This will be a long one. Probably like 3.25 hours.
Yeah. Maybe.
Right now we're at like 3. So.
Yeah, but we're have to cut out like 10 minutes.
We'll see how long this takes. Hopefully this takes like 20 minutes.
Drink it.
Alright. That's a good. We'll make that sound so we know where to edit.
Okay, and we're back.
And we're back.
Technical difficulties.
That's sourdough break. It's okay.
There we go.
There we go. Gosh. You should be a Dark Souls boss. That was horrifying. You could just replace Leechmonger. That'd be more interesting. Dude, they should have a gopher boss.
Gopher. Dude, the demonic gopher.
They need to.
Awesome.
They need to freaking. They need to
Hire
call us. We would make them great bosses. We
Do
understand.
it for free. We'll do it for free.
Yeah,
Put my
and for
name on
money, but mostly for free. Just name it Chris Midley. You could name it the Middle Hog.
I like that.
Thank you. Or the Mid Hog, but
Mid hog. Oh.
heck yeah.
Um.
But anyway.